The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack this like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I am your host, Scott Lewis. It is Friday, June 7th, 2024, man. We've got a nice show for y'all today. No guest today, which is shocking. I think the first time maybe in a long time we ain't had a guest of any type of sort. But we here. You can follow me at Barberchair Scott on all social media platforms. You can follow the Barberchair Network at BarbersChairNet on all social media platforms as well. Get in tune with H&B Media at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram. And of course, get in tune with our sponsors, Pillars. You can go to pillarsclub.co, Pillars_club on Instagram, or you can visit any of their 3 store locations in the Chicagoland area. There's one over there in the West Loop, man, right over there on Madison Street. There's one over there in Orland Park, and there's one in the Chicago Ridge Mall. Get in tune with everything they're going on. And while you're at it, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do what you got to do, even if that means you want to call over all of us dumbasses. And we got a lot of that the last week. I know Bang is mad for me for cussing niggas out in the comments, but I will try harder. But we are back. We've got a nice show. Going to discuss the NBA Finals. Last night was game 1 in Boston between the Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. So we're going to be talking about that. We got some NFL to get into, some NBA. I'm going to give a little breakdown of, minicamp. And yeah, man, let's just get into it. Let's bring in my co-host, Dante and JR Bang. You can follow JR Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. You can follow Dante at October Zone Tay on Twitter. And he said, don't find him on IG. He will find y'all. So
too much. That's too much. That's too much access. It's not necessary.
He says, I am a media personality, but don't follow me on any other social media except for Twitter, nigga. So y'all heard him. Don't get into that. But it's Friday. Courtney will be joining us in about 40 minutes because we're on color people time. For those of you who can see, we supposed to start 10 minutes ago. By the way, that was my fault. It wasn't these 2 gentlemen's fault here. It was my fault.
As long as the people know.
It was not their fault. They were here in the room at the appropriate time. I was not. So that is not
Bang, we're gonna eliminate a couple of your fines because you was on time. G.
Yes.
I'm gonna take that off.
All Monday show.
Yeah.
All on fines.
All the Monday show is clear. You were good.
Just donate to J11B.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. He says donate to him. I don't know. Donate to bro. I don't know this nigga right here, but you see in the comments, donate me, please. Donate to this nigga. Whatever he's talking about. But how y'all feeling today, man?
Hey man, this is a long week. Long week. Ready for the weekend to be here.
I'm about to say, shout out to Taylor Made. I broke my 3-wood. They sent me a brand new one and upgraded me. God bless. So I'm solid.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a long week too. A lot of stuff going on. I'm looking forward to talking about minicamp in the local hour. By the way, the local hour will be part of the show now. If you want the local hour individually, you can still subscribe to the Patreon. That is patreon.com/barbershop network. If you're somebody out there you don't care about non-Chicago sports, you can still subscribe to the Patreon to get that individually, so you ain't gotta fast forward an hour and a half. And I should be having the audio up for y'all for that as well, man. So he said it's 4:42 a.m. in India. This nigga got insomnia, but we appreciate you for watching us right now. But let's just get into it, man. Last night was game 1 of the NBA Finals. Very underwhelming after 10 days of being off with no basketball. I tweeted before the game started. I was like, you know how mad I'd be if after 10 days with no basketball, we get a blowout. And what do we get? Outside that little fluky comeback that the Mavs won and I had in the third quarter, it was pretty much a blowout, man. That's just my biggest problem with the NBA. This season. Well, really not just this season, but the last couple seasons, man. But before we get into it, man, were y'all able to watch the game full? Did y'all tap out?
I watched it. I watched the whole game. Luca was gonna be Luca, and like we said, bro, if you can get one of them off their game, or if one of them has a bad game, it's gonna be really tough for Dallas. And that's what you saw. Kyrie had a bad game. I think he was like 6 for 21 from the field or something like that. And as a result, they got their ass smacked. And also, it's one of those games where, like, as we know about the league today, when you get hot from 3, it's tough to beat a team. And like I think they were 9 or 21 after like the first, like I'm talking about, we 5 minutes into the second quarter, G.
The Celtics went 16 for 42 from 3-point as a team last night, which is 42%. No, 38%, my bad. 38.1%.
No, that shit was nasty. But no, that shit was just nasty. So, but like, if you can get one of them off the game, this series could be over quick.
Man, did you watch the game or you tapped out?
No, I was dealing with family stuff, so I wasn't able to watch the game, but I was looking at it, just looking at some of the highlights and just looking at the pace of it because my parlay was affected. I thought Kristaps Porzingis was going to start off slow. I thought it was going to be some rust. But then when I saw he cooked them for 11 in the first quarter, I said, yeah, this game is over. This game is over. And it's scary hours. It is very scary hours right now.
We'll get into that in just 1 second. Yeah, I was excited because we ain't had no basketball in like 10 days. I ordered me a pizza. Shout out to Chuck's on 103rd. I'm gonna give y'all a shout out because y'all been holding niggas down for 30 years. Shout out to Chuck's on 103rd Western. So they deserve that shout out. When I came back from Hallis Hall, first of all, I was Dom Toretto on 294, nigga. Like I was like, I'm getting back to the city before this fucking traffic hit, nigga. So I got back into the city. I went to Benny's. What I've missed from being away from Chicago is Benny's Beverage Depot. Nigga, I know this don't sound like a lot, but I paid only $10 for a 6-pack of beer. If I'd have walked myself in a Walgreens or something, nigga, that'd have been about $17.
What kind of beer did you get?
Yeah.
Oh, I get IPA. IPA, nigga.
Okay. You paid $10 for IPA? I'm saying. You get Budweiser, nigga? $10?
No, nigga. I don't. No, look, I drink light beer now because of headaches, but I don't ever drink Budweiser. My light beer is Stella, or like what's my other joint? Modelo, Stella, Modelo. You know what I'm saying?
It's just when you said $10, it scared me. That's Miller Genuine Draft area.
Right, exactly. And that's what was shocking. It was $10. Now, granted, I do have a Benny's card, so let's put that out there. I have a Benny's card.
You got a discount, nigga. Okay.
Yeah, but you should always look. That's how much I appreciate Benny's. I got a card.
But Bang does not drink Bud Ice.
I don't drink. Courtney said in the chat, Dante, you look hard in the draft. That is every episode.
We could have kept that one in the private chat, my nigga. But you right.
I mean, hey man, any nigga, Ray Charles can see that, my nigga. Like that wasn't breaking news. And you could have easily said, I'm just sleepy. So who? It wasn't my fault.
Unless you knew here, like, come on, we've been here.
You could have been like, man, years. I just woke up.
Right, exactly. So everybody who watches this show already knows that. There wasn't nothing. I wasn't breaking protocol. And Ray Charles can see this.
God bless America.
But anyway, yes, I got my beer and I came home. It was blowout. So second quarter, I'm like on IPA number 2. Boy, I was knocked out. Boy, I almost woke up about 2 minutes up in the fourth because I'm not 25 no more. And them things will put me on my ass. So
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I like a good IPA, but like you said, you need about 1, 2 of them, and you smooth.
yeah, he said Bane drinking Bud Ice. Modelo, yeah,
Boy,
shout out to Modelo, man.
if you
Modelo helped
see
me
Oh
there.
yeah,
if
I
you
would
see
definitely
me
go
out
with
here
Modelo.
drinking Bud Ice, fam, you should have a conversation with me and ask me how my life is.
How your life go?
How's my life going, fam?
Yeah, man. But let's just get right into the actual game, and we're gonna give y'all some analysis on this blowout. It's one of those things where the score may look like it was closer than it really was, but it wasn't. Celtics won 107-89. This is not the first time that the Mavericks have lost a game one. In fact, they are 1-3 in game ones in this year's NBA playoffs. This is a game, man. Before we get to the actual like breakdown, what do you think we learned here? I'm gonna go to Dante first, and then I'll go.
Uh, I you hit more threes, you're gonna win. Like I don't think we really learned much. Boston, like I said, they've been the best team in the league all year, so this wasn't really going out on the limit if you pick Boston, but it was just a situation where they were the team that came out hot. I know we were all wondering with the layoff that everybody had. Everybody had a week. I think was it? I believe it was a week.
It was
Probably
10
longer
days.
than that. 10 days off, and so it was a matter of we're gonna get 2 rusty teams, and we didn't. Boston looked like they didn't miss a beat, like they hadn't taken a day off. And once those shots started falling, and you bring back KP, obviously he's a big part of their team, and he's a big mismatch in certain parts of the floor, and just everything he provides for them. So him coming back, combined with them hitting as many threes as they did, I don't think we learned anything. But it was just they got out to a hot start, and that's why they won the game.
Well, I would say the thing that I learned will be that this is a different team with Kristaps Porzingis. It's just no way around that. I mean, his impact was incredible. He did not look like a guy who's been out since game 3 of the first round, which was essentially 2 months ago, a month and a half ago at this point. Um, they look different. The defense is flying, and I think for the first time all postseason, and not that they didn't look focused in the other 3 rounds, but it looked like they had been okay. I feel like they kind of heard the chatter of the talking heads, the people like us, Stephen A. Smiths, everybody like that, saying that they haven't beat anybody. How they're gonna handle this, that, and third. And they're like, all right, we finna show y'all why we were the team that ran away with this conference, and 168 games was the top defense in the league, a historical offense, and they just really look good. And it's kind of like what you said, Dante. I think the story in general was just make them miss threes. It's a make them miss league, as they like to say, and that's just pretty much what I got from it. Was when focused, as we all know, even people like me and Bang who picked the Mavs, when focused and 100% healthy, the Celtics should win this with really no problem. Bang, what did you learn from last night?
I learned that Kristaps Porzingis is really a unicorn. Still really a unicorn. For them to have the layoff that both teams had, then also for Porzingis to come out and seem not rusty at all. It's okay. We could say that they haven't played anybody, or can we say they were just that damn dominant? So for them to come out in this first game, it really sets the tone, and it shows that the Mavericks, no high taking, no try to be with the hyperboles and all of that stuff. But who gonna stop Porzingis? Or who gonna slow him down?
Yeah.
Hey, he because he's on the court, he makes it a matchup issue with the 2 other best players, because then later in the game, Jaylen Brown comes out and basically closes it out. So yeah, it's scary hours. That's what it is, and that's what it's going to be. And even though I kept saying, if Kyrie is who he say he is, and is Luka who we say he is, then this should go in 7. But that was discounting Porzingis coming out and actually being ready to go. So a little bit nervous for that.
Yeah, let's get into what Dallas did wrong. I think that's a long laundry list of things that they did wrong. I think the first thing they did wrong was they missed too many damn open threes. I think there's one thing if you're Dallas, you could probably hang your head on is that look, we had the looks, we just didn't knock them down. And I think that's something that I won't say that you take any moral victory from it, but it's not like they weren't getting their shots. They were getting their shots, they just weren't locking. I mean, on paper, Luka had a pretty good game. I'm not really good game. He had 30 points, 10 rebounds, but shot 46% from the field. But you go 4 for 12 from three. But here's what to me is what killed him. He had two assists, he had one assist. As a team, they had 9 assists. Like you can't have that and think that you're going to win any game, especially against a team that's historically good as the Boston Celtics are in the NBA Finals. And then also, too, Derek Lively is very, very important to this team. He was in foul trouble all night, didn't really do much, only had 2 points, only played 18 minutes last night. Didn't really get much from any of the others. There was one play that I saw where Maxi Kleber was wide open for 3, and it really pissed me off. I yelled at the TV, shoot the fucking ball. This was like when I think they cut it down to like 9 or 8 or something at times. So this is when that could have been a key shot to get them closer. I know he's still working back from surgery and things like that, but it really felt like everybody was hesitant. And I think the game plan from Boston was great. And the Mavs fell right into it. They fell right into we're gonna do the ISO ball plan. So Kyrie Irving continues the streak of stinkers at Boston Garden, only 12 points. Went 16 19 from the field, only shot 31%, went over 5 and 3. That can't happen. But it's one game, and I know we're in the business of overreacting, but it's one game. I remember 2 years ago, the last time the Celtics was in the finals, they won against the Warriors. It was pretty convincing, and people were like, oh well, hey, Warriors dynasty might be over, and then a flip got switched. So I think Dallas did a lot of wrong things, but I also think there's some things that's encouraging in here. Dante, what you think? What'd you see from Dallas last night? What did you like? What didn't you like?
I like the fact that Luka was Luka. I like at the end of the day, like you said, the one assist. I think that was more so a product of the defense that Boston was playing. Forced them into a lot of situations where they weren't able to get those assists. But I think Kyrie's struggling. Like I said this when you asked me why I thought Boston was going to win. I think they have the pieces to take out one of them. Obviously, Luka probably ain't gonna be the one. From what we've seen so far, I think Kyrie just matchup wise, it's a lot easier to throw different bodies at him. As great as Kyrie is, it's still gonna be difficult for him, and we saw that last night. So I think more than anything, that's what we saw that I didn't like. Kyrie wasn't really able to get into a rhythm. He missed some shots that he would normally make, and Luka was Luka. So I like that. Blake, like you said, Lively, he is a nice part of this team. I think, like I said, Dallas has the talent, but Boston, like I said, bro, that was a night where they were really just clicking on all cylinders. And when they're clicking like that, there's not much you could do. I don't think outside of Kyrie going nuclear, there wasn't much he could have done to make that a closer game.
Bang, what'd you see from Dallas that you liked and what you didn't like?
I mean, Luka was Luka, so I like that. But Kyrie was not Kyrie. Kyrie felt like he didn't come prepared to play. Felt like, I don't want to say mentally he wasn't there, but it definitely felt like it. And of course, if Kyrie comes out the way that he came out, excuse me again, then we can go ahead and cancel Christmas. We go ahead and get this out the way. Name who's the champion and MVP. He needs to be exceptional this playoffs. And he was not on the first game. So when you have the three amigos, if you want to call them that, on Boston, that's really on point. You need your two best players on Dallas to step up. And not only did Kyrie didn't step up, nobody else on the team step up. If I saw correctly, nobody else on the team had around 15 points, something like that, on the Mavericks. So it was,
you are correct. Yeah, Peter Washington at 14. Yeah. Hardy off the bench at 13. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, so they was just flat. They came out flat and not ready. But Luka was. He was ready for the moment. He just didn't have the help.
Yeah, and that goes to what to me was the biggest X factor in this whole game was Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis has been a player since his Knicks days where he had so much potential, he had so much talent. Like you just said, bang the unicorn. he was beloved in New York for a long time. Remember those early things, and then him going from New York to Dallas. Was it Kemba Walker he was traded for? I think it was.
I
Was it
think
Kemba?
so.
I think it was Kemba. We got to look that up, but I think it was Kemba. But he went to Dallas, and remember he's supposed to be paired with Luka. He's gonna be Luka's number
No, it was
two.
Marcus Smart. It was
It was
Marcus Smart.
Marcus
He got traded
Smart.
for.
It was Marcus Smart. No, I'm not talking about Chris. I'm talking about one from the Knicks.
Oh no, okay, yeah, it was Kemba. My
Yeah,
bad.
it's from the Knicks. Yeah. So he was supposed to be the running mate for Luka, and the injuries I think is the biggest part of it, more than him and his talent and not really living up to it. He's always been hurt. He's been hurt this year, and he's been hurt in these playoffs, obviously. But what we saw last night is that this is just an unstoppable team without him. Maybe that's why the Celtics didn't look as impressive, quote unquote impressive, because they only lost 2 games in the first 3 rounds, but quote unquote impressive because they didn't have Porzingis, so they had to play a different style ball. But Porzingis' impact to me was crazy. I mean, he had only played 20 minutes off the bench, had 20.6 rebounds, six rebounds, but 3 blocks. That was important. Blocked a lot of niggas at the rim, and he just is somebody he can be out here with the pick and pop. He can go post up. Defensively, he's great. It just was an overall just a great thing by him. And I think that this is going to be something that's going to change. We said this in our preview show on Monday, that if he plays, that this is going to be a different series. I think I just underestimated how different it is. Now, like I said, it's game 1. They can adjust. I expect Jason Kidd to make some adjustments and change this game a little bit. I do think game 2 will be a lot closer. I do think the others will play better. And I think Kyrie Irving is going to play better. But if Porzingis can replicate this to some level, it's gonna be kind of tough for Dallas. Dante, what'd you see from Porzingis that you like? Were you surprised that he played this well off not playing for a month and a half?
I wasn't surprised when they said that he had done a bunch of scrimmage, and I know that sounds silly when you drop somebody into an NBA Finals game, but with the way the game is played today, once they said that he had his wind and his conditioning was solid, I knew he was going to be okay. I didn't expect him to go crazy like this, but I mean, this is the KP that was promised. When Phil Jackson drafted him for the Knicks, he's a unique talent. I think I think sometimes his offense overshadows what he does on the defensive side of the ball. Not saying he's a lockup defender, but him blocking shots, him being that big, like you said, he was meeting motherfuckers at the rim, and he did that a couple times. And so just having that presence in the rim, in the paint, on top of what they do defensively, that adds a new layer to that team. And like I said, if Dallas can adjust, it could get ugly quick. But at the same time, I don't think that they'll shoot as good as they did in game 2. They hit a lot of threes. Like, and that when you get railroaded like that early, you feel me? Like you really get hit with that haymaker. They got close, but when you only have one superstar clicking, it wasn't going to work like that against Boston. Jason Tatum had a solid night. I'm going to get into that, but they didn't really have everybody like really, really going crazy. That was a team effort last night. And that's one of those things where it's like, damn, okay, this team is going to be tough to beat.
And that team effort thing, when we get to the Tatum topic, I got something I might actually be shooting him some bill. Never thought I'd get to that. But I think what you said too about 3-pointers is important, because we see how Boston gets when they're not hitting those threes. When they're not hitting those threes, they are a completely different team. So that's definitely something to watch out for. Bang, what stood out to you about how Porzingis played? He ain't played in 6 weeks. Like, to me, he looked like a nigga who been in the regular rotation with the rest of the team.
You just said it. When you not only are out for a certain amount of time, but the team is out. Right now, not only do you have to get reacclimated to the team has to make sure that they're practicing and going over everything and trying to be as comfortable as possible because of the layoff that both teams have going into the first game, which is stupid as shit. By the way, this is.
Yeah, the NBA got to fix that.
Yeah,
dog.
the NBA got to fix this because this is terrible. With that being said, that's what was shocking, that the team in general felt like they didn't miss a beat. So the fact that he is the one who stepped out and set the tone is what was surprising to me. Like they was on his back for the first quarter, and then he ended it off along with Jaylen Brown, right? So that was what was shocking to me. He set the tone for the team. he came out and gave them the engine that they need to pull out essentially a blowout in the first game of the finals.
Yeah, and two, man. What I was thinking is we transfer into Jason Tatum. Gonna make a, I don't know, it's not this is a hot take, but I think it's a comparison, not one. But I saw him last night, and we're talking about Jason Tatum. Like, what's Jason Tatum gonna do? Jason Tatum got to take over. People like me, a lot of people like me. Pavi said that. I think a lot of Tatum detractors, haters have said the same thing. We want to see him take over a game, and I want to shoot him. But he has taken over games. I remember, was it 2 years ago in the Eastern Conference Finals? Against the East Conference semifinals against the Milwaukee Bucks. From Giannis and them niggas went up 3-2. Then they went on the road to Milwaukee, 46 points for Jason Tatum. They stayed off elimination, 51 points last year in game 7 against Milwaukee, against the Philadelphia 76ers. So Tatum has done this. I think the thing that pisses me off about Tatum and other Tatum detractors, because my hate towards Tatum isn't about, oh, I just don't like Jason Tatum. It's just, to me, he has all the tools to at least be a top 3 player. Like, he's probably top 5 by default, but like we said a couple days ago, he's never gonna be on the MVP final ballot or the final 3. But the comparison I'm gonna make, this team reminds me of a much more talented 2004 Detroit Pistons, and I say that because their foundation is defense, but I don't feel like there needs to. I'm starting to feel like I don't think there needs to be a star for this team. On that Pistons thing, you have Rip Hamilton doing this thing. You have Chauncey Billups doing this thing. You have Rasheed Wallace doing this thing. Ben anchored the defense. Tayshaun did the same thing. To, like, you might have a night where Rip comes out, gives you 30, 35. You might have a night where Chauncey giving you 25, 30. You might have a night where Sheed is giving you 20 and 12, but they all work as one team. If you look at Tatum's stats, they don't look impressive. 42 minutes, 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. But 3 for 7 from the 3-point line, that's not bad, especially considering how he's been shooting from the 3-point line all playoffs. I'm starting to think that maybe he just needs to be like he's been playing, and if games get closer, that he steps up. But we've also seen Jaylen Brown do that too. So maybe in this particular team, I'm not saying for his entire tenure with the Boston Celtics, but for this particular team, maybe he just needs to play the way he's playing right now, because it kind of feels like it's working. Dante, what you think about what I just said?
I mean, yeah, that's Jason Tatum, bro. It's so many ways he can affect the game, and I hear you, and that's what we've been saying all season about the quote unquote detractors and what they dislike. It's not even that y'all dislike the man. It's like y'all want him to see it every night, and I feel you, but at the same time, when he's on the team like this, he doesn't have to do it every night. And you have nights like last night where he's doing the little things. He's driving and kicking, and they getting hockey assists. Like, I think they said it was like he had like 19 potential assists. So you know how they do the extra stats. I don't have them in front of me, but he was doing a lot of that little shit that isn't on the box score anymore. And I think that's what you get with Jason Tatum. And that a part of all of that is what makes him the great player that he is. And so, like, I guarantee you there will be a game in this series where he does go for 40. You feel me? Where he has the hand that night. So I feel you. I see where you coming from, because like we said, the talent is there, and like it's also a byproduct of him accomplishing so much so fast. Like, for him to be as young as he is, as many Eastern Conference Finals as he's been to, All-Star, All NBA, all of that. So I get it, but I think at the same time, he's on a team where he's able to be great in different ways. And as long as they win, he's shown you that he don't care about that. Like, that's something you can't appreciate about Jason Tatum. I know we used to the, cocky superstar type of niggas, and I don't think he's really that person. I don't think that's just not in him. Like, he knows he's great, but at the same time, he's fine with just having nights where, yeah, people gonna highlight my turnovers, but they're not gonna talk about everything else I did on the court.
Right. Bang, what you think about that?
I mean, I agree. The U City ain't gonna come out of this, man. He's not gonna be cocky, you know what I'm saying, and show people what it is. He got a team that he feels like if I'm down, they're gonna be able to pick me up, and vice versa. So, I mean, all of these people was talking about he needs to do this or do that in order for him to stake his claim. Hey, man, he in a situation that's possibly right now. It's like, gee, I'm about to get this ring. I don't have to score 50 points a game just to get it. And when it's time for me to snap, I will. But right now, I'm on chill.
Yeah, man. The U City. Is he actually from U City? I know he's from St. Louis. He's from
Yeah,
U
yeah, I
City.
believe he's from U City. He's from U City because if I can remember correctly, he was like some of them St. Lunatics niggas used to like take him to school, and they all from U City.
Yeah, I know. They said Nelly walked one of them niggas to school. Him or Bradley Bill. I forgot which one it was. Probably
Yeah,
Bradley Bill.
yeah. A
Because
lot of
now
people try
I'm
to.
pretty sure Nelly wasn't walking Jay Tatum school. That nigga was multi-million-dollar by that time.
Yeah, what am I saying that? Because a lot of cats be trying to play Jason Tatum because his mom is a lawyer and all of that. But I think she said she had him when she was 15. So like he's like
Oh
people
yeah.
try to clown him because he went to private school and played basketball and shit. But no, like he's from like St. Louis, St. Louis.
Sound like what Dame Dash said. What he said on backstage? Niggas trying to clown me because I went to boarding school. And Pete Dame fat. I put myself there. Like, yeah, nigga, I'm sure you put yourself in boarding school. Anyway, moving on to game 2 will be Sunday night. By the way, this NBA scheduling is insanity. We just talked about the 10-day break between the conference finals and the NBA finals, and now you got game 2 on Wednesday. Game 2 on Sunday. Then game 3 will be on Wednesday. Game 4 is on Friday. Then no hoops all weekend. So I don't know what the fuck is up with that schedule. But anyway, game 2 at the TD Garden on Sunday. Let's talk about preview about some things that the Mavericks need to do to get back into this thing. I think for me, it's pretty simple. Make your damn threes. I need to think that they need to stop playing iso ball. I think that the Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics, they want to make them specialize in playing iso ball, but the problem is they haven't played a defense like these niggas, so it's a little tougher for them to do that. I think they need to come out, kind of have a better defensive scheme. They need to box out. I don't know what the actual rebound count is. I just closed the app, but I do know they was getting offensive rebounds all over the Mavericks. There was one possession in like the first or second quarter. Well, I promise you, the Celtics got like 4 or 5 offensive rebounds on that possession alone. That cannot happen. So you got to win the boards battle, hit your shots, and just more than anything, Kyrie got to be better. Luka's got to get the offense involved. Derek Lively got to stay out of trouble. Just play your game and just when you get blown out like that, it's one thing. Oh, we did everything wrong. If it's a close game, I feel like you're questioning yourself wrong more. Like, okay, where did I really mess up here? How can I change this to be able to make this into something positive for us? So I think just in general, they just need to come out and play their game. But the biggest thing for Boston, in my opinion, Boston is they are primed for bullshit. That's what they do. They've done that literally in every round. I think they've lost every game too in this round. I'm pretty sure they have. They have lost every game too in this round. It's usually because they come out lack of focus. They don't hit their 3-pointers. Now we want to see how Porzingis is going to come out in game 2. Is the fatigue going to hit him in game 2? Maybe he was running off adrenaline. This is only this is the first time he's played a playoff game outside of the first round. He's never been in that final stage. Maybe that was part of it. So I'm interested to see that. But I think the problem here for the Mavericks in this entire series is if they're at their best and Boston's at their best, they still lose. So they got to make sure they play defense well enough to where Boston isn't on their best. Make this a close game then. Make Jason Tatum make those plays that we want him to make, because the Celtics have not been in a lot of clutch games this season. So that's what I would do if I'm the Mavericks. I know Jason Kidd's gonna have him out there with a bigger plan. Make this nigga Joe Mazzulla adjust. You know what I'm saying? Like, Missoula's not big on adjustments. Make this nigga adjust. And I think they can do that. They can go to back to Dallas 1-1, and then it's a whole other series. And by the way, I'm glad that they got rid of the 2-3-2 format like 10 years ago. That was like the worst shit in sports. Like, I understand what they did it for travel reasons for media, but it was just bad. But they can get that. I think they'll be right back in the series, and they'll be in a favorable position going to Dallas for 2 games. Dante, what you think both teams need to do to get a win on Sunday?
If you Boston, I'm with you. You got to come out on fire. Keep your foot on their neck. You got to come out with your foot on the gas. Don't come out lax. Okay, we already got 1-3 left. Like, no, you need to be like, okay, it's nothing. Like, we need to go. We need to be headed to Boston 2-0 with the potential to come back home as champions. I think if you Dallas, you got to defend the 3 line. You got to really run them off that 3 line. You can't have them hitting this many throws. I know they hit some tough shots, but defend the 3. And Kyrie cannot, play as bad as he played. He played bad yesterday. He acknowledged that. So I think, more than anything for Dallas, Kyrie has to, be better.
Go ahead, man.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if both teams play well. I still like now. I feel like there's no chance still for Dallas to win this if Porzingis is on the team. Like that's the whole thing to me. Like it's hard to make adjustments now at this point. That's not going to affect you because even if you look, I mean, I don't think this is going to happen every game, but when you got Porzingis staying back and blocking somebody's shot on the layup, maybe it's just one of those days where, hey, maybe it's just one of those days where everything is just going right. But maybe it's just a sign of we're just more talented than you. So I'm just not sure if Porzingis just gives you 11. Like if he would have just stayed at 11.
Right.
Like if he was just stayed at 11, it just
You
would have
can
been
live with that.
he would have been you can live with that and still at the same time be like, damn, even if we go off, we're going to lose. So basically, those two players that's the best players on your team really got to snap. They really, really, really have to be out of their body when they play against these teams. And I'm not sure that's going to be able to happen.
So you saying this game one is like kind of
a microcosm.
severe blow.
Yes, it is because it's the dude who was gone for all of that time came through
and let
niggas know I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's true. You gotta hope Porzingis gets back to his inconsistencies. If you're like you have to make sure that I'm trying to think of you have to make sure that they mess up. You know what I'm saying? So that is really what it comes down.
But the other part of it is too, Scott. The other part of it is too is accountability. You gotta hold, like, even if you're there, you gotta hold that person accountable. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, that's true. Breaking news. I just found out from a reliable source that Kendrick Lamar show will be streamed on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, they just put it out on social. This is gonna be streamed on Amazon.
Oh, so Drake's funeral gonna be on TV?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You're gonna have 2 billion people streaming Certified Pedophile.
We're gonna bring in another part of this show, our co-host, Miss Courtney Collar, bro. Let's bring in.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, Courtney?
How's the shadow, Scott? You gonna yell at me? I can't control.
No, see, you know what's funny? What's funny though?
I wish I could tell the sun right now to chill.
You know what's funny though?
Houseman says
when I'm recording, sometimes you're looking like it's too dark, but when I watch it back, it's actually no problem. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's very weird. But how are you feeling? We know we got to message you, but your Dallas Stars out of there.
I'm gonna say hello, darkness, my old friend.
I just saw the Stanley Cup Finals commercial.
It's been a rough week in the Colabro household, but we shall persist. Yeah, I'm still ready to watch some hockey this weekend. I'm super excited. It's two really, really good teams going head to head for the Stanley Cup. So excited to kind of unpack that a little bit here too, as well once we get into it.
I will be.
I'm not watching baseball right now though. I can't. I'm sorry. I just got my heart broken by one Dallas area sports team. I need to give myself a fucking break.
So you're not gonna watch.
I might watch the Dodgers and the Yankees this weekend.
I am watching that tonight.
Locked in. Wish I was in LA.
I should be, but
Yeah.
I'm still a little heartbroken. So.
You say you wish you be Dante. You know how much a pain that's getting in that damn stadium. Imagine that on Yankee night. You'd be pulling up now.
But no, you know what? I told you what I do just because I don't come out there often. Like a lot of times when I go,
didn't you get kicked out of there one time?
I did get kicked out the last time.
What? Do you know what the hell kind of fool you have to be acting to get kicked out of Dodger Stadium?
No, because my best friend is a Puerto Rican Cubs fan, and we were drunk, and of course, shit went left.
You could have just left it at Mikey was acting a fool, and
it wasn't Mikey. But it was also it was crazy. But no, I usually take the bus. G, I ain't gonna lie, I do the whole LA fan experience, and I ain't gonna hold you. I get the little free shuttle, go in there, smacked,
we build
come back out.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I'm not getting on no LA Post train station.
Yeah. You know, the
I was in
key
a
is
Sprinter last time.
JW Marriott Ritz Carlton right next to Crypto.com Arena, and then you have the house car take you. You're welcome.
You say try to do what next Crypto.com Arena?
Yeah, you stay at the JW Marriott Ritz Carlton Hotel right next to Crypto.com, and then you have the house car take you from the game or from the stadium or from the hotel, I should say, to the.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's better because you trying to call an Uber by Crypto.com. You gonna be waiting about 45 minutes, my nigga.
It's a nightmare.
Oh my god, trying to get an Uber on game day. I don't care if the Clippers game could have been over for an hour. I would be in Staples Center meeting room doing this on my phone.
Yeah, correct. You just sit there for a while. Same with Dodger Stadium. You don't bother trying to like go anywhere out of there. You just like go to Reese, wait in line for an hour for tacos.
Then I gotta go to Pappy. Like, look, I know you're going to the Valley. Can you slide over to West LA real quick so I ain't gotta be waiting here for another hour? Give me a ride. But we're gonna have
a ride in LA sounds crazy.
Huh?
If I lived in LA and somebody asked me for a ride, it's an automatic no.
That's true. I've known this nigga 25 years though, so it's like, nigga,
fair.
I know your daddy. You better help me out. But we're gonna get into Stanley Cup Finals in a minute. We're actually going to have Courtney break down for us. We're gonna have Stanley Cup Finals for idiots. She's gonna break down to us for people who don't really know. I know hockey, but I only watch when the Blackhawks.
I don't even know what exactly you're looking
for. I want you to break down the team situation because I've heard some things. You know, what I heard is that the similar thing we were just talking about in the NBA Finals with the Dallas having the two best players, but Celtics having the better team. I hear that the Oilers had the two best players, but the Panthers have the better team. So we'll get into that and other stuff.
Okay, I see.
I want to know what icing is.
We'll get into that too.
That's a fun one.
Explain what a power play is to bang. That took me a while.
I know what a power play is.
Okay, all right.
Icing is what be confusing me.
Icing is a very confusing one. Same with like offsides. Thank you, by the way.
Shout out, Alex. By the way, if you want to check out Hot Corner, streaming right now. We will be doing that next week. Big shout out to Mikey. But let's get into something I told y'all to check out in the chat earlier this week. So shout out my man Al Patron. He texted me, I think it was Tuesday morning. I was getting ready to head to Hallis Hall for practice, and he texted me in big bold words, "Nigga, watch episode 1 of Clipped now." And I was like, you talking about that terrible Clipper show? He was like, yes, it is hilarious. I was like, all right, when I get back from practice, I'm gonna watch. My nigga, when I tell you, I got back home that night, and I didn't watch it till later at night. There's two episodes dropped, and they're each 30 minutes. When I tell you it took me an hour and a half to finish it because I kept rewinding and pausing the stuff because I couldn't believe how ridiculous this thing was, or as our Barbershop Network co-founder Pierce likes to call it, losing time instead of winning time. This is good. This is just peak Lakers Celtics. I mean Lakers Clippers. Lakers get it right with the casting. And, good show. And the Clippers, they just mess everything up. So for anybody who's been under a rock, basically this is the show on Hulu through FX. If you have Hulu or Disney Plus with Hulu, you can check it out over there. Or it's on the Donald Sterling era Clippers, which at this point, it's crazy. That was 10 years ago when he got outed. It's insane that was that 2013, 2014 was 10 years ago. So it's basically talking about that story. Lawrence Fishburne is playing Doc Rivers. And honestly, it wasn't a bad casting, but it's just funny seeing Lawrence Fishburne play Doc Rivers. My man Al Bundy, Ed O'Neill, is playing Donald Sterling. Cleopatra Coleman, that was my first time hearing, but she's fine. She plays Vivian Steviano or whatever. By the way, they helped Shorty out. She did not look like her. I just want to get that out there right now.
Definitely an upgraded casting.
Definitely upgraded character. You know what I'm saying? It's like when remember that terrible show on Netflix on Griselda Blanco?
With Sofia Vergara. Yeah, they really did. Yeah,
and Griselda Blanco. Right, Griselda Blanco's son was like, my mother doesn't look like that. Yeah, you're right. She looks 100 times better. You know what I'm saying? Like your mom should be happy if she was still here. But
yes.
So Shorty played her. She looked way better than her, but she played Viviano. I forgot her name last night. Steviano. Some random curly headed nigga played Blake Griffin. They got Dante playing Chris Paul.
That's the dude from what's that damn show? P Valley.
That's Buddy
that
from
dude
P Valley.
does not look like JJ Reddick. Also, like
Yeah,
the guy that they got for JJ Reddick does not look like JJ
I
Reddick.
promise you, FX Casting drove down Sepulveda and took whatever white nigga they saw over there on Santa Monica Boulevard.
How tall are you?
No, they went outside and said, "Hey JJ," whoever turned around first, that's the nigga they grabbed. They said,
right,
bro, we got
exactly. You. They found that nigga.
I didn't realize JJ Reddick was that important to the Clippers.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that either. JJ told the story on his podcast like a year or two ago.
Doc did make him a starter, so
I still didn't realize he was that. Like viewing it in the movie is like, damn, JJ Reddick was the catalyst of all of this shit.
And the funny thing was, Donald Sterling said he's white. I don't want to pay him because he's white. And that's just really what it came down to. But
you didn't tell me JJ was a white guy.
Right, you didn't tell me he was a white guy. I will say this:
that show is comedy.
Ed O'Neill, you know, I know him from Al Bundy. I didn't really watch Modern Family, but he was on Modern Family. He really played a great Donald. I'm gonna do the good things first. He played a really good Donald Sterling. He sounded like He sounded like a rich white man who really didn't believe that, thought that he was racist. You know what I'm saying? Like he definitely sounded like that. I think Lawrence Fishburne did as good as he could playing Doc Rivers. But it was just funny because all the stuff that was allowed that he was allowed to get away with. But each casting got worse and worse and worse to the point where I'm just dying. But what made me think, I'm watching this show for the rest of this whole show run is when I saw the nigga they had playing Steph Curry. I don't know who they had. Omar, the nigga like Omar Good playing Steph Curry.
I about to say they had that nigga Orlando playing Steph Curry. Like it looked crazy. Like I really could like the casting in this one was crazy.
I was so excited to see Draymond, and then I saw Draymond, and I said, "There's no fucking way."
They took the nigga who was working craft services. Had that nigga playing Draymond.
Correct.
Hey, put that crate down, nigga.
That's something funny.
You about 6'2". Come on. We gonna make you 6'9" on TV. Come on. But it's a terrible show. But this is my thing with TV shows and movies. If you're gonna be bad, be entertaining. I've been watching
the whole thing.
I've been watching Power for 10 years. I know that show fell off 7 years ago. But if you're gonna be bad, be entertaining. And this show is entertaining. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, bro. This episode, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say disappointed. I was kind of shocked though at how like pretty much it's a joke, simply because this is the same network where we've seen American Crime Story, where they've done all these great documentaries. Kind of documentaries, but really did it. This one feels more like satire, even though that kind of fits in line with everything we know about the Clippers during the Donald Sterling era. Like Austin Rivers, he tweeted about it. He said, they landed on a little heavy, with how Doc was. Doc didn't talk that crazy. But like you said, the casting is nuts. I don't think it's anybody that looks like anybody that they're supposed to look like. Even Doc's Beijing is wild.
It's
because
crazy.
By that point, he went to the low season. Like he had the low Beijing. So for them to lay it on that thick was fucking crazy. But I mean, like you said, it's like a train wreck. I'm definitely tuned in. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna finish it out.
My man said low Beijing. I ain't never heard of that.
Doc had the low. He was like, "Don't paint."
I know,
it.
but
like
you said low Beijing. You said
he
that
probably
like
had
it was a low ball fade.
Right. He had a 1-2. He didn't say, "Don't get the brush out, my nigga. That's too much."
Hey man, I don't think it's that bad, man. Like, I don't think it's that bad.
I gotta hear this theory.
Like when it comes to casting, like we can't find everybody to look like everybody. Like Steph Curry and them are bit parts. They're like main characters and shit. So like who you gonna like if you did a casting search, like who you gonna find look like Jamal Crawford?
I mean, who you but look, who you gonna find look like Magic Johnson? Nigga, like but Winning Time did great casting. When I look at Adrian Brody, I don't think of Pat Riley. Then I saw him playing Pat Riley. Oh, that nigga looks like Pat Riley.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's Adrian Brody though. Like you.
So, base you saying FX budget isn't?
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, I mean, it ain't quite Tyler Perry-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but that's why I mentioned the American Crime Story, because it's like it's the same network. Like y'all did great casting with
American. Both of them did great.
Hey,
crime and horror.
Yeah,
everybody can't find people that wants to be a bit part in this that looks like Steph Curry or Draymond Green or Klay Thompson. So I ain't tripping about the casting. But it is entertaining. Like for this joint right here, I did not expect, even though it's FX, I did not expect like Emmy award winning acting here. Because at the end of the day, it's basketball. A lot of Telegraph stuff. I didn't expect it to be a comedy, even though I've been laughing at this shit since I've been watching it.
It's hilarious.
And can't wait to the next episode so I can laugh a bit more. But Ed O'Neill is doing work. Now, Ed O'Neill, I saw an interview, I think it was with Dan Patrick or Rich Eisen. It was one of the white dudes. And he was like, yo, I've been playing damn near the same character for you for a while. So this was time for me to, show that I'm versatile and I could do more shit, even though I'm like old as hell. So, and it's funny because I think they got two people that could have played Donald Sterling dope in the same film. Because Corbin Burnson, when I looked at him, I was like, yo, he could have played Donald Sterling too. Like, one of them could have just been like, no, I'll take it this time. But I'm gonna watch it. Like, the shit is hilarious. I didn't realize how much JJ Reddick was a big part. Like, who we gonna find that played DeAndre Jordan?
Gee, all I'm saying is at least put together an actual search. I don't believe they put together an actual search. There's no way you can find you tall niggas with dreads, a little swole, look like at least like, okay, if you look from this side, he kind of look like DeAndre Jordan. That can act. You know what I'm saying?
That can act.
I'm not doing a lot, asking them to do their job, casting. That's all I'm asking for. Courtney, what do you think about the show?
I think it's fucking terrible. Also, I find it really weird. And again, I know it's strictly entertainment value, and I know the next topic we're going to get into a little bit of the whole how we treat women in sports. And again, I'm not saying that this lady was.
Oh,
was
damn,
great,
we are.
But I feel like we're kind of missing the plot in regard to how fucking terrible this man was, because we're so busy focusing on her being this like plotting, fucking thieving woman, which I think, again, multiple truths can exist at once. But I'm only 2 episodes in. That's how much I've seen so far. Maybe we'll get deeper into how awful Donald Sterling actually was.
Shout out Joseph in the chat. Yeah, the Big Baby.
Okay, maybe I could have been Big Baby.
Oh
maybe.
my! You're right. You could have got
Big
Bane.
Baby.
Maybe I could have been Big Baby.
Could have got Bane to play Big Baby. That Bane, that'd have been a good check for you. Yo, my one run in with Big Baby Davis when I first got to LA, I was there for maybe not even a year. Yeah, it had been like 6 to 8 months, and there used to be this party in Santa Monica. I think it was called the 2010 Lounge or something like that. It was every Saturday. It was called 40 ounce and waffles. It was nobody there actually drank 40 ounces.
We both made the same face, Dante.
Yeah, nobody there was actually drinking 40 ounces. It was called 40 ounce and waffles. It was like this brunch party. It was cracking. It was in Santa Monica. It was like me, Pappy, Thomas, we used to go there all the time. And it'd be a couple celebrities in there. Like I seen YG in there one time. But Big Baby was in there. So we was in this section. So Big Baby gonna come up to me like, are you old enough to be here? I'm like, nigga, mind your business. We talking about my old enough to be here. Fuck out of here. And then like he just looked at me stunned, like I responded to him like that, like look out my face. And so that was my one and only run in with Big Baby. Oh,
now this nigga headed for jail.
Nigga. Don't drop the soap, nigga.
Oh yeah, didn't he get caught up in some insurance shit?
No, he's going to jail.
Yeah, don't drop the soap, nigga.
Tragic.
Well, what did Dave Chappelle say? Don't let we said don't let the jail bug bite. Whatever that nigga said. But
crazy.
Let's get to before we get to our next topic. Actually, I saw this tweet my brother just tweeted, and I actually wanted to ask the panel because I actually agree with him. People kill him in his mentions, but I agree with him. He said black people tacos are disgusting.
Okay,
I won't say disgusting, but they're not the best.
Black people
tacos racist.
We're black. We can talk about black people being black.
I know.
We can talk about. We're all 4 of us talking about black people being black.
Orlando, I got a question. I want you to answer this in the chat. Do Mexicans look at black people tacos the way black people look at white people chicken?
That is an amazing question. Orlando, answer that
because okay. So I'm not trying to mansplain tacos, but Taco Bell serves tacos that are similar to the tacos that we cook in our community.
He says yes.
There we go.
There we go.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying that Taco Bell is the fucking bastion of goddamn Mexican American cuisine, but like our tacos are not that different from what Taco Bell is being served or is serving. I don't see the problem.
About nigga tacos?
Yeah, they're the same fucking thing. You go to get a Taco Bell, get a Taco Supreme right now. It's fucking orange cheese, lettuce, tomato, sour cream.
I think that's kind of the point, though.
I think that's the point, though. And that's the thing.
I don't hear anybody saying that about Taco Bell, though.
Peppi's disgusting. If you live in Peppi's disgusting. I need you to do better, bro. I know you live in Atlanta. And there's like four Mexicans in Atlanta. So I know.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Gee, I go to the Mexican grocery store to get my Mexican food. They got a kitchen in that motherfucker. Like I go to.
If you live in the Chicago, Los Angeles, any part of Texas, and you eating American tacos, now I'm not one to look down on American tacos. Del Tacos held me down on many drunk nights in my West Los Angeles days.
69-cent soft chicken tacos hit.
Hey, the 40-cent Del Taco joint. When you drunk, it'll hit you up. But if you in a city with a predominantly Mexican population, you should not be eating American or nigga tacos.
Yeah,
this is true.
We actually just had this conversation last night. I'm going to the Mexican 100% of the time. I got a taco from a black establishment one day, and I was disappointed. And then don't go to an Arab restaurant. Don't go to one of the corner stores and they like, yo, you want a super taco? Yeah, nah, G. Them shit's ass. All right. I don't even eat if I eat American tacos in the house, it's legit because I'm hungry. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get on the grill. Look. If you ain't eating carne asada, like if you just saying if you ain't saying the shit,
if I don't order the taco, you don't ask me if I want horchata with it. I don't want nothing to do with
that shit. Like
don't put no ground beef on my tacos.
Don't put no ground beef on my taco,
bro.
Arrachetta, nigga.
Yeah, if I can't go to that neighborhood and feel like kings are finna be on me, I don't want it.
Right. If I go to your neighborhood and they don't look at me and be like Gordo, like I don't want that shit.
If I don't ask if I'm GD, I don't
want that taco.
Only time I would get Del Taco if it was late at night. Usually we come home
and I'm drunk
from the club or something. I'm not finna stand on La Cienega and I gotta look around my back every 2 seconds while I'm getting my taco. I'm too drunk for that.
Fam,
I'm on the Del Taco.
Shouts out to my homie Francisco. He lived on 26 in Comiskey.
Who getting tired? First of all, Shane O'Mac. I hope you're black.
That's a great point.
I hope you're black. But, just want to say that.
But we kind of allow it, you know. Kind of allow it. But no, I went over my homie. In matter of fact, it won't just be Francisco. Anytime I go over a Mexican person's house, the mom of the house grabs me and say, "Hey, taco." She not gonna let me leave until I get 2-3 tacos.
You feel me?
I need to vouch for it. That right there changed my whole life around tacos. All right. I'm going to get my shit from somebody who's gonna say "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" instead of somebody gonna be like, "Yo, nigga, what you want on your taco?"
I'm glad you are, Shane. So yeah, you are 100% correct. If you're getting tacos from a black-owned establishment, that is crazy work. 100%. I just want to say this definitely gonna be this week's clip, bang. 100%. I'm gonna put as a poll. Shout out to my brother
No, your brother's right.
My brother's right. He is wrong. He said, "Joe, got you funny, Orlando."
Your brother's right, and the people that disagree with him ain't never went and got a taco
no real Mexican food.
from a real Mexican.
Speak on it, bro.
You scared to go to Pilsen. You scared to go to Little Village.
Like I said, if you order your taco, I don't want you on a Sprite. No, nigga, I want that horchata, my nigga. Yeah, that's what I want.
If they ain't got every flavor of Jarritos in that motherfucker, it's not a real Mexican spot.
See, now you pardon.
I can't eat there.
Now you pardon.
This ain't the place for me.
I've never had tacos from Maxwell's.
If they sell tacos,
that's what my man just said. Only tacos that's acceptable on drunk
night. That's nasty work.
Yeah,
I didn't know they sell tacos.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're getting too regional for me.
Hey, Orlando, tell Pappy that. Tell Pappy that. Let me tell you the first time I promise we gonna move on to the next time, but that just made me think of something.
That's a great topic. I love tacos.
Before we moved to LA, we had a trip. I promise you, we was in some area in LA. I don't remember what part in LA it was. There was an authentic Mexican restaurant right here, and there was a Chipotle right here. Me and TPJ, we went to the authentic Mexican restaurant. This nigga Pappy looked at the chicken. Why the chicken look like that? Went across the street to Chipotle. I kid you not.
That's crazy.
Maxwell Tacos is crazy. I want to go to Maxwell just to see what that looks like. I've never heard of. We gotta ask you. Have y'all heard of Maxwell Tacos? I've never heard of that.
Never
heard that one time. But I know keep peep that the clip topic is supposed to be last or whatever. We already did it. So Courtney, we're gonna go to you. On Monday, we had the homie Shakia on, and we talked about everything that's going on with WNBA discourse and the way it's been covered. With Stephen A. Smith doing what he did, and then doubling down on the show. Pat McAfee. I feel like everybody is just doing it wrong. What's your opinion, on how all this is being covered and how you think it should be covered?
Yeah, well, okay. Let's start with the fact that the way we talk about all sports are all fucked up. Let's start there. I'm not going to say that I have not made the same mistakes, right? We are all imperfect. But we can't even talk about men's basketball normally, all of the conversations around, watch First Take. It's 3 hours of fucking Stephen A. Smith yelling about something that he probably doesn't even agree with, right? The fact that we have had, NBA be such a prominent sport for so long, and we can't even get that right. How can we expect men who are the primary, conversation drivers in this, even though they shouldn't be, even though they are, how can we expect them to get women's basketball coverage right when that has only been around for 20 years, right? 20 plus years, but I digress. It's a little short. Either way, we can't even get that right.
Yeah, it's been 27 years.
Yeah. And so for me, I just, again, obviously the more voices and people that we can have contribute to the conversation, the better. But it all started with Stephen A. Smith, right? All he, in that conversation on First Take with Mona McNutt, where all he really had to do was, listen, none of this would have happened, including the after impact or the aftershocks that came with Pat McAfee calling Caitlin Clark as much as he wants to, I'm sure someone from the Mouse fucking gave him the chat and he was like, yo, usually let you say whatever the fuck you want to say on the show. You got to shut that down, right? So, of course, he had to issue that apology, but then it didn't matter because I'm pretty sure he doubled down on it later that evening on the fucking wrestling program.
He called another wrestler that it was a dude, but yeah.
But no, he doubled down on the joke, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
He doubled down on the joke. So clearly you don't feel that sorry about what you said and were forced to apologize for, and that's a whole different discussion for a different day. But again, getting back to what I was saying, all Stephen A. Smith had to say was, which I know will never happen. You know what? You're right. I could have done a better job at acknowledging, women's basketball before, and not even just women's basketball, women's sports as a whole. Fucking Oklahoma just won their 4th straight national title. Their 4th straight national title in softball. You see anything about that on First Take? So let's chill with the fucking, I've always been a great supporter of women's sports. I have not heard a peep about that. Now you can say, it's your job to put together the most entertaining show possible. And if you don't think your viewers want that, but don't act like you're some great champion of women's sports, Stephen A. Smith, because you're not. All I really want us to do is just be normal. Can we just have normal fucking conversations about sports? Women are competitors too. I know it's very shocking, but women, as a former female athlete, or former athlete, still female, regardless, the fact that we can't just have normal, nuanced conversations about sports is honestly it's such a detriment to what's such an incredible product. It's such a good product. And the fact that we're like, oh, they're getting followed outside their hotel. They can't take the pressure. Brother, go touch grass. Fucking NBA players shouldn't have to be harassed at their team hotel either, or getting onto the bus. That should not be normal. Go touch some fucking grass. Take a fucking taste the air.
That sounded like they were doing a hint of cocaine right there. But you right. I think
thought a line was being taken at that point.
Grass.
But you're right. I think too is when I said this on Monday when Shaquille was there, I think the WNBA is getting introduction into the world of sports entertainment. Like the first thing, remember Dante, we saw the advertising for Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
No,
legacy is on the line.
Are they getting an introduction and getting the same equitable treatment, or are new eyes coming into it that maybe aren't able to have a nuanced conversation about it simply because they don't understand the history, the context? Right? New eyes. It's just, listen, I think it's a detriment to the product because it is such a good product. It has been a good product. And I'm glad that there's new eyes and that, this new class, this rookie class, including the #1 draft pick, have brought new eyes into the sport. But man, we've got the wrong people leading the fucking conversation. Those people need to take a step back and propel the other people forward. Stephen A. Smith, if you can't handle it, uplift other people like you claim you did with Mona McNutt, because she wouldn't exist or have a seat at the table if it wasn't for you.
So the only pushback I have for that, and mind you, I hate debate shows. I hate even Scott, when we be talking in the chat, you be debating. I ain't doing that because I think things get lost in debate.
Lying, by the way. Bang be baiting me in the debate.
No, I don't be baiting him in debates, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as I say something, Scott be like, nigga, and I whoa, I don't even know. I be confused. Wait a minute, this wet laugh, I know. But in debate shows, that's the whole essence of it. Embrace debate. So because of that, and this is where I get into my spiel about producers, don't be producing. Not just segment producers, but executive producers too. If you're going to do that, then I think that you should have people that know the sport to have that debate. The problem with First Take is they don't come to the show to see those two people debate. They come to the show to see what Stephen A. Smith has to say. So when it comes to these situations, sometimes he is forced into some of these nuanced conversations because in order for the numbers to be what they are, he got to be the one that is talking about it. But that's why your segment producers and your EP got to give you the right bit of information. For example, things could get lost in translation. Stephen A. Smith said in that debate with Monica McNutt, what if that happened to Angel Reese? It would be X, Y, and Z. No, because Angel Reese got choke slammed on the goddamn ground.
It did happen to her.
Right, it did happen. She got choke slammed on the goddamn ground, and it didn't lead SportsCenter. But yet, when the thing happened with Caitlin Clark, reportedly, allegedly, people was on the ESPN anchors was like, no, we got to lead with this. We got to lead with this because they knew that was the story. That was the whole. So they're going to push the narrative because they want to be able to talk about that and get the ratings. So we find ourselves in this unfortunate situation to where we got to have somebody that don't necessarily know about the product heavily to talk about the product. That's why it would behoove networks like the NBA fucking network, whose content is terrible, to create some shit around that. Hopefully, when it comes to this next TV deal, you'll see a bit more. But in order for shows like First Take, not NBA Today or Inside the NBA, none of those studio shows, more talking about the debate shows, unfortunately, you're always going to find yourself in a situation like this because when somebody is debating, they're debating about something that their knowledge is limited to what a producer might slide to them, as opposed to them actually watching the games and going through it and being able to educate the people in a debate like some of the other people could.
I want to say this one thing. Then we'll go to Dante. Courtney, I agree. I think it's the thing where it's kind of like what Monica McNutt said. Two things can be true at one time. I do believe that some of the coverage, whether just from the media or fans, is more intense because it's women, obviously. But I do feel at the same time we don't even have when I mean by when I say that it being introduced into the world of sports entertainment because they're getting more eyes in it. We don't have nuanced conversations about anything in sports entertainment with any of them. Now it's a little bit more because they're women, but it was just what me and Dante were saying on Monday. Like the advertiser for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, legacy on the line. Nigga, Jace Tatum's 26, Luka's 25. Like so it's gonna be extremes. I feel like this is where since there are more eyes on the WNBA, they're getting kind of a introductory class on how crazy this media coverage is when you're a sport that has a lot of eyes on you. So I do think we need to take a little bit more care with this because it's involving women and predominantly Black women at the same time. So it needs to be more of a conversation. And maybe this is a hot take too. I actually want to get all three of y'all opinion on this. I personally feel that maybe Caitlin Clark should come out and denounce the fans who are doing the whole black white thing. Now, maybe some think y'all think that she should just leave that alone.
Yep. That's not. Listen, I can't say that that's her responsibility. Now, would it be a nice use of her position and her privilege, kind of like what Cameron Brink said? Sure.
But what did Cameron Brink say?
Oh, Cameron Brink said that there's an inherent privilege. Let me pull up her direct quote because I don't want to take that away from her. So bear with me just one moment.
Okay. But yeah, it's not her job. But I feel like at this point, Bang, what you say, it's getting real liberal versus conservative. Right,
yeah, it's definitely getting real extreme right versus extreme left. She does not have to do that, but I wouldn't mind it.
I think it would help a little bit.
No, I actually think it will hurt though.
Oh, for real?
Like I think it will hurt because you got to think about it like it wouldn't hurt, but you got to think about it like this, and this is stuff that people try to not talk about. But the majority of her base likes her because she is talented. But also is inherent that she's white, and they want to see somebody that looks like them go out there and do their thing. Like for everybody, let's use Michael Jordan for an example. Be like Mike. Yeah, white people want to be like Mike, but Mike looked like us, so it made that campaign even feel stronger. That's why when you look at the Like Mike campaign, what the majority of the people do you see in that?
Sometimes I dream.
Like it makes you feel like that. So I'm not even tripping at that. Like that's what's supposed to happen. Like Tiger Woods made me think about golfing. And I never did it, but it made me think about it. And I know many people who started to golf after they saw somebody who, in a sense, kind of looked like them do it. Even wrestling, like wrestling for an example, right? Wrestling, we talk about it on First Black Chat podcast. We make fun of white men 18 to 34 demographic because that's what wrestling is geared towards. So when people say where are all these black people, or when they used to say where are all these black people, like they need to be able to appeal to this base because that's the majority of the people. And I think inherently in wrestling is racist, right? When it comes to a lot of those things. But then when you look at the WWE, you have just wrestling in general, you have a black champ in AEW, you have a couple of black champions in the WWE. And now black people can look at some of these wrestlers and they can enjoy the product, and their kids can look at these people because they look like them. So if that's the case, if we're talking about for wrestling, using that for an example, that man, it's great to see champions like Swerve Strickland or Trick Williams or Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, because as a kid, I see somebody on TV that looks like me. Well, shit, what the fuck you think Caitlin Clark is? A white girl who got a torch, who out there killing, and she looks like them. So if she comes out and she says anything otherwise, then some of those people that like her for those reasons are going to look and they're going to be like, now she's woke all of a sudden. The league has gotten to her and all of this. Nah, she just needs to shut her ass up, hoop, continue doing what she's doing, because at the essence of what Courtney was talking about, this is just all about hoop. Just let them hoop. All that extra stuff, get the fuck up out the window. Just hoop. And that's all she has to do. And I think things will be okay.
Let's bring up a good point. Courtney, you got that quote?
Do I have what?
I thought you had the Cameron Brink quote.
Oh, yes, I do. I thought you said something else. I said, I don't have that. What? Do I have that what, sir? I know it's Friday, but yes. She said, and I quote, "I will not rest until the W is even more iconic than it is now. I could go way deeper into this, but I would just say growing the fan base to support all types of players. I will acknowledge there's a privilege for the younger white players of the league. That's not always true, but there is a privilege that we have inherently and the privilege of appearing feminine. Some of my teammates are more masculine. Some of them, my teammates go by they, them pronouns. I just want more acceptance to that and just not just have people support us because of the way that we look. I know we can feed into that because I do like to dress more femininely, but that's just me. I just want everyone to be accepted, not just to be paid attention to because of how they look."
It's very well said. Very well said about her. Dante, man, you got any take on this? I know we talked on Monday, but
no, just I think more women are coming out and saying, just let them hoop. Like Enrique Agubawale said it. She was like, this is what the league has always been. If you don't like it, don't watch the league. Like, I know a lot of people have the mentality that they need to be grateful for the new eyes, and it's like, nah. Like, if you don't want to watch, don't watch. At the end of the day, so a lot of it has just been silly.
Definitely, man. Yeah. So if you want to see that, that conversation we had with Shaquille Taylor from Chicago Tribune, it's on the HB Media YouTube right now. WNBA Discourse. Check it out. Let's move on to our next topic, man. I know, Courtney, you gotta get out here in a minute, but we're going to talk about the segment I was talking about. Stanley Cup Finals for Idiots tomorrow. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Florida Panthers have home ice advantage.
They do have home ice advantage. They did clinch the number 1 seed in the Atlantic Division like 4 days before the season ended. So because of that, they did secure home ice advantage throughout the playoffs against any opponent that they may face if that was not the New York Rangers. They beat the Rangers in the last series in 6 games, which was a shocker for many. But yeah, it is destined to be a good series. And for your viewing pleasure, don't worry, there will not be any weird letters on this. But I did, while we were talking, take the pleasure of drawing up this board.
Hey, bang! Remember the last time you had a board?
The Fs. I have completely changed the way that I draw.
Okay,
Fs.
I
have a complex about that shit now.
I apologize.
Yeah, well, you know what? Thank you. Okay, thank you. So, real quick, before I get into any kind of breakdown, you asked what icing was, and I'm trying.
You put the F by icing so we can see the math.
I will not be doing that. We were going to keep it simple here, and we're going to go with X. So, icing is when a player on their respective team side, so like say, okay, this is the Oilers are over here, okay? If Connor McDavid takes this puck right here, if he has the puck from right here, and it has to be behind the red line. The red line is the line, obviously, right down the middle, splits the ice 50-50. If Connor McDavid shoots this puck over here, past the last red line, so the red line that's by the goal, if he shoots that past that red line, then it's icing. It hits the backboards, and then it's icing because there was no attempt at play. You're essentially just trying to clear it out, and you can't do that unless you have another player on. There's exceptions. So one exception being if you have a player that's down here and they make a genuine attempt on the puck and they just like barely miss it, sometimes the officials will call it off or let it go. Other exceptions include, say, if the goalie that's on this side comes out of the crease to play that puck, then the icing gets called off because now he's basically acting, the goalie that is acting as if he's on offense. So it's not icing anymore. Okay. And then where they do the face off, after the icing gets called is based on the location of the puck. So if he shot it from over here, the face-off is going to be over here. If he shot the puck to ice it from over here, it's going to occur on this side. And these are other face-off circles as well.
That makes sense. Bane, did your question get answered?
Stanley Cup playoff for dummies, baby. Let's go.
Okay, so here's my question for you. One for those who don't know, for my hockey history, I understand the game of hockey. I was a bandwagon hockey fan from 2009 to 9.
Well, actually, I can't hear you, Scott. You muted yourself.
That cord came out.
Real quick, I would like to deliver the smoke personally.
Okay, there we go. Can y'all hear me now?
24. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, you sound like you sound like you're on the
Chicago
water.
Blackhawks. Okay, and you want to know why? Because the Blackhawks had one fucking job. The last game of the season, game 82, they weren't going to make the playoffs. Okay, we weren't asking you to do any of that. Okay, all you needed to do was to beat the motherfucking LA Kings. And what did you do? You let them score, was it 3 goals in the last fucking 8 minutes of the game? That completely changed the entire seeding of the Western Conference.
How do I sound now? Not
one game. We took care of listen, the Dallas Stars took care of business. They did win the Central Division champions for the first time in probably about 5 or 6 years now. Hell of a feat. It's not easy to do. They ended up also being the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. All of their entire path was changed and who their opponents were simply because the Chicago Blackhawks, game 82 of 82, couldn't win a motherfucking game.
Hey, you know
number 2 pick though.
You know what else? You know what else the Stars didn't do? Win a fucking game.
It's not about that right now. But we are going to unpack just a little bit of the matchup. We do have.
Hold on, but here's my question. Hold on, real quick. This is my question for my mic got unplugged.
Yes.
Basically, what I was saying is doing that glorious Blackhawks run. So I understand the game of hockey. I just fell off when they fell off. So my question to you before we get into other points you're going to get into was I heard this comparison. Tell me if you think it's accurate or not compared to the NBA Finals where the Mavericks have the 2 best players in Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Do the Oilers have the 2 best players in this thing and the Panthers are looked at as more of a team thing, or is that an inaccurate comparison?
So it's funny just because, yes, that's definitely true. Connor McDavid is the best hockey player on the planet right now. Leon Draisaitl, through this postseason, he hasn't been the second best player. That's actually been Zach, a.k.a. Shaq Hyman, who's been absolutely tearing it up in the postseason so far. He has 9 goals to Leon Draisaitl's 3 right now in the postseason. So Zach Hyman is kind of taking over what, I guess the Kyrie role, because Luka in this case is definitely Connor McDavid. I guess if I had to, maybe Derek Lively, I guess is more of the 2-man. I guess if I'm trying to draw comparisons. I don't watch basketball.
Right.
I don't care. It is. Listen, Florida is a really, really good team. And I would say that they're a more complete team just because they don't rely on the offense of 2 or 3 guys. It really is a team effort. And it's funny because I wanted to look into, obviously I know this is for dummies, so I wanted to get into some of the more advanced numbers just because, again, my team just played Edmonton. I want to know why, my team couldn't beat them. What about them? And you look at some of the numbers, and they played a lot of guys, but the only guys on their team, there's only 3 players on their team. 4 players on their team that have a positive goal plus minus percentage. And that's McDavid, Hyman, Draisaitl, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So they've got their 4 players. Everybody else is kind of a liability with negative goals plus or minus, which essentially means that when they're on the ice, they are a fucking liability for those that don't understand. Listen, Florida is a team. They've got experience. They did lose in the Stanley Cup Finals last year to Vegas. They are a more complete team this season, I believe. And I do think overall that the Florida Panthers will beat the Edmonton Oilers and finally get their first Stanley Cup in playoff history. Unfortunately, Edmonton, you have waited since 1993. I think you can go to wait another year. So sorry to dear old Canada, but I don't think this is the year.
Hey, I'm rooting for the American team.
Hey, isn't it a drought?
Florida.
Isn't Canada in like a drought?
What'd you say?
Isn't Florida like? I'm not Florida. I'm sorry. Isn't Canada like in a drought? When's the last time Canada won a Stanley Cup?
They have not won a Stanley Cup in Canada since '93. So.
Oh wow, we took that game. Oh
yeah. So that's why all the Canadians are like teaming up like the fucking Avengers right now, trying to beat them. Also, do we like this Vancouver accent that I'm workshopping? You know, I gotta really acclimate to the cause. So I think we're doing okay, boys.
That's actually pretty good.
Thank you. I've been working really
pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I think the only thing I know about the Oilers outside of Conor McDavid was they won like 4 cups with Gretzky and Mark Messier.
So, and also another thing about that team and about their postseason run that I think a lot of people, and this is for all my people who are like going to go to the bar tomorrow night and like the game is going to be on, and you've never watched a second of fucking Edmonton Oilers hockey in your life. Okay, I got technically it's 2 words for you. The first one is a compound word: power play, merchant. Edmonton has been an absolute monster with the penalty kill this season and on the power play. They have stopped now 28 of the last power plays against them. So they have killed 28 straight power plays against them. But they are also absolutely atrocious right now offensively on even strength, just because they are relying on 2 guys primarily in McDavid and Draisaitl to kind of lead them. So definitely look to that. Florida is a very strong team, especially on that forecheck. They are going to absolutely hammer Edmonton, especially McDavid, especially Draisaitl, and shut them down. And they're probably going to draw Edmonton a little bit of frustration from their team. And I think it's going to be a tough matchup for that top line in Edmonton.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Thank you for saying that. Tomorrow when I tweet merchant, and I'm
acting power play merchants. Power play merchants. When they don't score, when Edmonton doesn't score on full strength, and the only scores and goals that they can get are on power plays, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. That's where they do the bulk of their damage, is on that power play.
So you've got Florida. How many games?
For me, the X factor in this series really is goaltending. Sergei Bobrovsky for Florida has been absolutely electric. I think his save percentage has only decreased ever so slightly. He is he's a fucking monster in net for Florida, who went through murderer's row of goaltending in the East to get to the Stanley Cup final. Whereas Stuart Skinner, he has been benched. He was actually benched in that 7-game series against Vancouver, and the team had to be the 3rd string goalie since Thatcher Demko got hurt, and then their 2nd string goalie got hurt, and then they had to bring up Arturi Shlivos, who was great, and he's not the reason why they lost that series. But that sort of playoff experience does matter when you get to this point. All that to say, I do think that Bobrovsky does have the edge in net over Stuart Skinner. He does. He's locked down recently, especially in those 4, 5, 6 games against Dallas. But I do think that Panthers have the edge in net, and I got to give it to them in 6.
Quick baseball question for you, and we gonna get you out of here. I was gonna ask about the Yankees, but it seemed like that Juan Soto, so I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I was actually looking while we were talking. Yeah. Is he?
Yeah, okay.
He's fine. He's day to day.
No, information.
He's information day to day. He will not be going on IL. So I was gonna make Yankee fans panic. We have no need for that. So my question for you is, what are you expecting to see? What do you want to see in this big? As big as you can get for?
I want all the bombs. I want all the bombs. I really just would like to see. Maybe the Dodgers. We start to string together some consistent.
Los Dodgers.
That would be lovely. Just some really consistent offense. We already know when that top 3 in that line, the way that they go in that order, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman is the way that the rest of the team goes. So you get those guys hot this evening. Hopefully Mookie has kind of figured it out a little bit, and we'll get the series. What do you think, Dante?
I think it's going to be a great series. I think this is actually great for baseball, period. This is why I want this to be the World Series matchup. But I think with the Yankees coming in as hot as they are, bro, I think it's going to be a tough one for the Dodgers. I haven't checked the pitching matchups yet.
I am actually looking at that right now. So tonight you have Yamamoto versus Poti, because again, Clark Schmidt did go on the IL. And then tomorrow is Gavin Stone versus Nestor Cortez. And then Sunday special, we got Tyler Glasnow versus Luis Heel, who's having a monster season. So
he's damn, this really sets the well for
something I actually want to talk about on the Hot Corner, so it gives something for the viewers to tune into.
You can recap
the Yankees, if they're serious about their commitment to being financially sustainable, they're going to have some tough financial decisions to make. So it's something that I kind of was talking about with some other people. Listen, you've done great without Garrett Cole. Like this rotation, I'm not saying you don't need
Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole has his first rehab.
Something to explore.
Garrett Cole had his first rehab start this weekend.
I saw. Again, is it something to explore? Tune in to the next episode of the Hot Corner. We're gonna break it down for you.
Definitely look out for that. Be Courtney, Mikey, and Dante. So, Courtney, we know you got to roll. So, enjoy your weekend, and we will holler at you on Monday.
Absolutely. Panthers in 6, Stars forever. Peace.
All right.
I was on Wikipedia looking at like Stanley Cup champions and shit. That's what I was doing.
I thought you were going to go somewhere with
that. I'm learning.
Listen, if you have questions, come to me. I love baseball. Obviously,
Scotty Bowman was that damn good of a coach, huh?
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Stan Bowman
hockey is my shit. Clearly, I enjoy talking about hockey. So
Stan Bowman was a kid who built the Blackhawks and also was a 69 guy.
Thank you for not frying up my diagram, by the way. I appreciate it.
I saw he was winning titles since like the 70s and shit. That's why I was like, damn.
Freaky ass nigga, 69 God.
He raised the creek, but that's neither here nor there.
69 God. All right, Courtney, we gonna holler at you on Monday.
Peace, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right. So now we're gonna get into our first live. I won't say it's not our first time doing it, but the local hour is now part of the actual show, people. The local hour is a part of the local hour. If you want this segment by itself, without us rambling about other sports for the past hour and a half, you can subscribe to the Patreon. You can subscribe to the Patreon, I like to call it. I'm going to ask Dante a producer question. I never asked this, but I don't care. How do I get myself in the middle? What button do you press? I just want to know whatever.
Oh, it's literally just drag your face over there.
Bro. Oh, I am an idiot. Hold on, let me try. Oh, okay, we live. All right. I didn't know that. Okay, we lit. Okay. Anyway, if you want just the regular local hour without the entire show clipped up, you can check that out on the Patreon, patreon.com/Barbershop Network. Man, but let's talk some Bears, people. Let's talk some Bears. Mandatory minicamp is in the books. This will be
clear lane now. It's clear lane now. Talk to us.
Okay, yeah. This will go. So, I'll explain, and then if y'all have any questions, ask away. So minicamp, mandatory minicamp is a wrap. It was 3 days this week, from Tuesday to Thursday. I was there on Tuesday and Thursday. The first practice was most intense. We'll get into that in a minute. This is the last week for the vets. So the vets are done until training camp. The training camp report day is on July 20th. That is a Saturday. So there's no actual practice on that day. They'll come in, report, speak to the media, and we'll speak to everybody that day. We're going to speak to Ryan Poles. We're going to speak to Matt Eberflus. We're going to speak to Caleb Williams, all the receivers, all the players. I think last year on report day, we spoke to Poles, Flus, Justin, DJ, T-Main, and Eddie Jackson. I think is what we spoke to last year. So, but the rookies have one more week. So Caleb has one more week, and we asked Flus why there's one more week, and he basically said QB school. So they're gonna make he said get your claws up. Yeah, we throwing a claw up. Old niggas should throw a claw up. We ain't throwing a claw up, babe.
No.
But so it'll be QB school next week for Caleb Williams and the guys. So basically, man, what I took from was this. It's not too much that you can take from actual mini camp because it's June. But I will say this, a couple observations I had. One being Caleb Williams just has a natural gift when it comes to throwing the football. And I was talking to one of my media peers. I won't say his name on here, but we had a conversation. He was just like, look, I'm not trying to, throw dirt on Justin or whatever, but it just looks so natural. Like even like it's just so natural. And on Thursday it was very windy, and it didn't look like the wind even mattered. Like he's a very natural thrower, and he threw a couple picks this week. Threw one to T Main yesterday, threw one to Kevin Byard early in the week. But the way he bounces back, the way he, it's constant communication between him and Shane Waldron. When he messes up, he goes right to Shane Waldron. This defense is very loud. I love how Flu said, yeah, they loud, but we see basically like, them niggas just see if they speak on the field. And by the way, I gotta say this about Flu. I don't know what that new makeover did to him, but he talking like an actual football coach.
Oh,
He got persona, he got swagger in this interview, in his press conferences. Now he started the press conference and he said, "Oh, what's up? It's Chicago Mafia." We was like, "Okay, Flu's got jokes." And then Courtney Cronin was like, "This recording." He said, "I'm recording too." I was like, "Okay, Flu's got a little attitude this time." But he's speaking more confident. There was a dust up on Monday, as I put in the group chat, fight in all caps like Babs from Megan the Band. But as he said, "Oh yeah, it was a whole bunch of." We said it was a whole bunch of talking, no action. So basically, what I like to see was I think DeMarcus Walker got too close to Caleb, and Tevin Jenkins and Braxton Jones and niggas had a problem with it. and that's when the whole little dust up started. Which you want to see, because many times last year or last 2 years, where Justin would get power drive into the floor and his offensive line looking at him like this. So there's none of that. So I think that the defense has been loud. The secondary is good. Tez has not been there really all off season because he didn't practice that much, and they said they're trying to get him into game shape. Same thing with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's like, "Man, I've been in LA. I ain't been here that much." So they didn't do too much. But I'll say that he is, by the time that mid camp comes, I think that kid's gonna have that offense in the back of his head. I'm not worried about the offense whatsoever. Rome Odunze is going to be the most open he's ever been in his entire life. He is going to ball out. DJ Moore has put up on 1,000-yard bounty, and all three of the wide receivers are talking about it. Keenan was like, "Yeah, we gonna see." He said, "We gonna see who gonna get 1,000." And basically, Keenan in his press conference all but said, "Oh, nigga, I want to get paid." Basically, about his future with the Bears. He wants to get paid. Now he said, "Looks like the price just went up." They talking about Jetta's contract. Now I'm pretty sure Keenan knows he's not gonna get Jetta's money because it's older, but he can still get him a good deal. And so I think that was a big thing. Rome had a big camp. We asked Flus yesterday who stood out to him at camp. He said Rome Odunze. Kevin Byard is the leader of this defense. Didn't take long whatsoever. He's the leader. All of the defensive guys have like, yeah, KB, he really doing his thing. Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson both said that there has been a smooth transition from Bojack to Kevin Byard, that they really haven't found, that much difference as far as leadership wise. And so you have that. The Keenan Allen's like, "Yo, the defense is annoying." And TJ was like, "Yeah, we trying to be annoying." He said, "But I don't really talk. That's Jaquan and them talking." So you really just feel all that going on. But I think Jaquan and the defense know, Flus knows that, yeah, we could talk on the field, but if we ain't doing it, it don't matter. Jaquan said something in his press conference yesterday after he made us wait an hour to actually talk. Was that he said, "We don't want to hear what we heard last year. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. We should have won 10 games last year. We don't want to hear that. Time is now. We need to win now." So it's a big focus on that. Jalen Johnson has told the defense their goal for the year is 20 interceptions and 20 fumbles. That's their goal for the year. And they're all going to be focused on trying to do that. I think the running backs room is going to be good. Not that I've heard anything that makes me think this, but my hot take is that Khalil Herbert's going to get cut. And not that, like I said, I've not heard from anybody.
Cut.
This is only Scott Lewis's opinion. This is from nothing I've seen. This is from nothing I've been told. I just feel they're not going to go with a 3-back system because this is 2024, not 2004. It's not DVD days with Duckett, Dunn, and Vic, but they have an investment in Roshan. They drafted him. I would not be shocked if he's one of those late roster cuts. Kind of like how
not traded.
Could be a trade, maybe. Trade. Anyway, I don't think he'll be on the roster, is what I'm saying. Could be a trade. You could probably get a little something from him. Ryan Poles is gonna get a defender. He's gonna get another edge rusher. Whether it's gonna be he actually goes out there and gets Calais Campbell or something like that. There's been a rumor of the Matthew Judon trade with New England. That would be amazing if they can do that. That's a rumor that's been floating around. But overall, good vibes this week. The Monday practice felt like training camp. Not just because it was mid-August heat out there. Number one, it was mid-August heat out there, but they were just really getting at it. And I just think it's good vibes around the team, and even with the defense, Jaquan and I think it was TJ Edwards said that we going hard at Caleb on purpose because he can't beat us. He ain't been beat nobody. But what they also that's how you know that he nice. Cause they like basically they're like, yeah, he nice though. Like basically, I haven't seen anybody throw the ball with him. TJ said he's doing things I haven't seen rookies do. So the defense, while they're having a hard time on them, is really doing his thing. On Monday, Jalen Johnson is my favorite part of all camp. Jalen Johnson, mid full team practice, 11 on 11, came over to the media. We sitting on the side, and I quote, which one of y'all motherfuckers said Caleb went 13-14 last week? If that motherfucker runs out of bounds or scrambles, that's a win for the defense. He yelled that at us. So he's very loud on Monday. That nigga got 2 touchdowns, scored on him yesterday. I ain't hear that nigga talk at all. So there's been a back and forth. And that's one thing that TJ said, like, yeah, they talk back though. And that's how we know that, they got some dog in them. Because last year the offense was not talking. I think that's just because Justin's demeanor. There was times at camp where I heard Jaquan yelling at Justin, talk nigga, like multiple times. So we already don't have that situation here. So I think I like as far as where you can be in June, I liked what I saw this week.
I'm so happy to hear that.
the best part of that, the best part of that was the Judon rumor, because that would really get shit going. So you know, I like what I'm hearing. I like what I've seen. Like I said, Bear Social. I don't think they showed Justin throw the ball like 5 times last year, but every time they post Caleb, he's throwing the ball down the field. So like I said, I'm interested to see.
I've seen more deep shots in OTAs and minicamp than I did all training camp last year.
I saw one where he threaded the needle in the middle yesterday.
Yeah, that one looked more impressive from the side than even that video did. Like he hit Rome one of them. He did one like on the Monday practice was rough, but he did one Mahomes like twist throw to Rome. It was like a 10-yard game, but it was just like the nigga's just talented with the ball. And then really once he gets the cadence down, that's number one word this week. Cadence. I think it's gonna be a good season. And also, Caleb said yesterday, man, when I look around, there's so many options. I got Rome over here. I got DJ over here. I got Cole over here. I got Keenan. I got DeAndre Swift over here. He said, I think this is gonna be a really good year. And Cole Kmet didn't really practice this week. Not that there's anything wrong. They're just being very, very precautious because it is June. But hey, man, I think as optimistic as you can be for a mini camp in June. None of this matter to the pads get on, or as Flu said, we're in pajamas right now. I think that was one last quote. Flu said. Flu says usually in OTAs and camp that they switch, like, we'll throw the first team defense at him with second team defense. He is adamant in not throwing the second team defense at Caleb. He said no, he's going against all first team. We trying to get him ready, so he got to go against all first team. I've been doing that on purpose. So Flu's been talking like a nigga with job security. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
As I've said, he's gonna be here for another 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. At the very least, he's gonna be here for another 2 years. But again, if I think it was Adam Hoge who I saw say that Caleb right now is where Justin was, if not better. And that says a lot. So even if he's not what everybody predicts him to be, he is still better than what we've had.
Yeah.
And that's still an improvement. That says a lot.
Yeah.
That tells me a lot. And yeah, I say you're right. We've seen more passes on social media than we've had in quite some time. And it's not just deep throws. It's Patrick Mahomes type throws where he's doing jumps. It's the thread and the
Yeah,
needle.
he threw a
It's the
bomb to
long.
Venus, nigga. I
That
forgot Venus was on the team.
Yeah, you said you had sent that up and you had sent VJJ up in the text thread.
Yeah.
And then on social media, then you see it happen. So now it's the thought of, could these wide receivers, these younger wide receivers, or Valus, a little older, will these folks look better with Caleb as the quarterback?
Yeah.
So it makes things even a bit more interesting. So look, man, I'm happy.
They've been having a lot of Ryan Bates at center. I think Ryan Bates is gonna be center. I forgot the other dude's name. 71. He's been doing a lot, but Nate Davis is. I don't get the Nate Davis thing anymore. I'm gonna be real with you. Like he's been there. He's been doing individual drills, but he has not done any team drills this week. I don't know. They're not really giving us any answers. Flus is acting like it's not a big deal. Every time I see him on the field, he's talking to Flus. So I don't. I think that's a big mystery for the media. We don't know what's going on there.
Well, he ain't that good.
That's fine, Dante.
He did this in Tennessee too. This is just what he do. Like I
That's
talked to
what
my
he do?
boy.
Okay.
Yeah, my
That's
boy who
weird.
worked for the matter of fact, you can text Justin after this, but Justin Baker, when he worked for the Titans, Nate was there. He said, nah, bro, this is what he does. And he don't do anything in mini camps, damn near training camp.
That's just his vibe.
Yeah, that's just who he is.
And that kind of reminds me of what Ted said. Somebody asked Ted, I think it was Mark Potash, why Ted ain't been here doing off season. Ted's like, this is my routine. He said, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a vet basically. Like I do what the fuck I want.
All right, man. But Tez is good.
Right, exactly. I'm with you. But
like there's some players that deserves that treatment.
Yeah.
I ain't seen even with I'm not watching a whole bunch of Titans games, but when Nate Davis was signed, it wasn't like holy shit. Like it wasn't like he was signing rest in peace Larry Allen.
Who buddy gonna cry? Oh, it's Dante.
My dog.
But yeah, I mean, so that's basically what I took from it, man. Did y'all have any questions for me? Well, okay, that's really all we got till training camp. There's nothing else going on.
You answered some of my questions, just how the offensive side is gelling versus this defense. Like I see your text, you're saying that the defense is getting active, they're getting after it. I guess the question that I would pose is we've heard about the secondary, we've heard about even Gervon Dexter Sr. and how Tez feels like, he is about to unlock whatever is there and have a great season. Have you seen anything from the linebackers? It's like, if Kevin Byard has been the leader of the defense, historically, it's been the linebacker core that's been the people that's been the most like calling the plays, leader of the defense, and all that. So how's the linebacker core doing?
I mean, they look as good as they always been. It's kind of like business as usual for Tremaine and TJ. I feel like Tremaine had like 2 picks this week. 2 picks this week. All bad reads by Caleb. But yeah, to me, it's been business as usual. I think like my only concern with the defense really is like I've been saying for months, pass rush. They got to get Ted some help because as we know in football, your linebackers and especially your secondary are only as good as the front seven. I understand they're expecting a lot from Gervon Dexter. I'm expecting a lot, but they need another guy, and I do believe they'll get another guy. I think they'll get another guy before training camp. Maybe week 1 of training camp. Kind of like how they did Yannick and Ngakwe last week, but the linebackers are it's just another dead office for TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. They look like they're going right back where they were. So it's been fun to watch. I think this is gonna be a fun season and see everything like slowly come together. But and I just say this too, like I never thought I'd see a day where the Bears beat us black. Like I was on the sideline yesterday, and TED Talk Kevo came up to me. Shook my hand. This nigga be walking around like he running for office. But TED Talk Kevo was there, and I'm looking like, there's a lot of niggas on this field right now with me. Like, but he's got a lot of people in his staff who are black. A lot of the training staff is black. A lot of the people, like, just in the day-to-day operations are black. Of course, black coach, black general manager, black assistant general manager. So as a Bears fan, I never thought I'd see that happen. So that's like one observation that had nothing to do with football that I saw. But overall, I think it was a good week for the beloved. But I want to pivot to kind of like something you were just saying, Bang, about what Hogue said about Justin Fields, and he's already better. Did y'all listen to Ryan Pohl's podcast interview with Adam Schefter?
No, that's on my list this weekend though.
So pretty good interview. It's like 20-25 minutes. He's basically explaining his process to being hired, to the team being what it is right now, the whole battle, how close he was to sending the number one pick to Vegas. Vegas was a team. I forgot who the other team was. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was the Giants, but Vegas for sure was the team he was going to send it to. For the Bryce Young draft pick trade.
Oh yeah, I was hearing that.
Yeah, so he said that went down, but Carolina gave more than he thought he was going to get. But he said a quote that got a lot of Justin fans upset. He said the big thing that made this decision for him was he feels Justin is a win with guy. Caleb is a win because of guy, which I think something we've said on the show multiple times. He said sometimes I wake up at night and be like, yo, if we didn't do that trade, how would we been able to get to this point? So it was just kind of like a lot of reflecting for him to get to this point, how now he feels like he's actually executing his vision that he had when he got here 2 years ago. That's pretty much the main basis of that interview. It's a good podcast. Listen.
I mean, as a general manager, that's what you want. You want somebody, and you said this. You've probably been the loudest about how like Justin is somebody that you win with, and we need somebody who we need to win because of, especially with how talented parts of this team is. So if we're looking at it like that, then and that's the blessing of being a 7-10 team, having the number one pick. So when you get somebody like this, that's why I believe that the expectations are higher than some people will imagine, because people are still thinking of the Bears being 3-14 and not 7-10. But when you have a talented defense, that defense is going to speed up the development process when it comes to Caleb. On the flip side of it, Justin had a lot of stuff around him. That was my biggest fear, that he had so much around him. What happens when you put him on a team that do not have much around him? When you have, Marvin Harrison Jr., when you have Chris Olave, when you have, it's a couple other players that I can name. When you have the offensive line, you have Paris Johnson Jr. When you have an offensive line that you're not getting touched, when you have all of that, you come into a team that you ain't got all of that. Hey, the development curve is going to be a bit different. So I think this is a situation where if you feel like you have that somebody that you could win because of who you are or the team that you have around it, this is going to speed up the process even more, which is why they feel like, yo, we're in win now mode.
Yeah, and that was my biggest fear with the run it back thing, is if we Justin got all these pieces and he's still making the same mistakes. That's I like I've said months ago, I don't want to beat the dead horse at this point, but that was my biggest fear for that. And to hear Pohl say that, which is something that I feel like a lot of us have been thinking, that's another reason why I'm excited for Hard Knocks. We get to see more Pohl. Ryan Pohl is an interesting dude, cool dude. From the very small interaction I've had with him, he's a cool guy. He's not one of those general managers who treats the media like shit. Like when he's around us, he say what up. I walked past him on the way to the locker room. He's just eating lunch, and he gave me the black man head nod. I was because that's the moment of truth right there. When you see another fellow black man in the hallway and it's just y'all two niggas, he gave me the head nod and he kept eating his sandwich. I'm like, okay, we good. And I know I made jokes about TED Talk Kevo, but he's a stand-up nigga, man. I ain't got no problem with TED Talk Kevo. He makes it his duty to not just say hi to the media, but he really goes out of his way to say what's up to the black media. It's kind of like that Key and Peele sketch. You know what I'm saying? Where you do you shake the white man's hand, but he give a little bit more energy when he meet the black dude. That's what it's like when TED Talk Kevo's around.
Okay. I know we appreciate that, bro, and I love the way that the entire organization looks. I'm just ready for the football. I think that's just me. That's just me. Like I said, everything we've been seeing has been what I wanted to see. It's been pretty good, but I'm ready to see everybody on the field and really get to it. The Hall of Fame game, I'll probably get excited for that, even though Caleb will probably play like a series.
I
But
don't think Caleb is playing a second. I
the
don't
Hall of
see it
Fame,
at all.
because wait, so
How
how many?
many starters? I can't remember last time starters even played in the Hall of Fame game ever.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Like last year, the Jets benched their whole starting offense.
But that's also because they thought they was going to the Super Bowl.
Shit, the Bears. What Bears talking? Them niggas think they're gonna go long too. I don't think Caleb is playing a second of basketball football in the Hall of Fame game. I really don't. And by the way, shout out to my man JP, my man Jared. He will be inducting Mongo McMichael into the Hall of Fame. He'll be his presenter. Devin Hester's moms will be his presenter. And I think Julius Pepper's former agent will be his presenter. But yeah, I'm going down there because the Hall of Fame, and I want to see the Hall of Fame. Go just walk through there. But I seriously doubt Caleb or that starting offense is going to play a second in the Hall of Fame game. But I'm with you. Now, there's going to be a lot of battles, and the best part is you get hard knocks, man. You get hard knocks. That's going to be fun.
I can't go now. I got to go to New York.
Well, you can't. You got to go to New York for what?
I got to go to New York, so I got to
spend. Oh, you talking about doing a Hall of Fame game?
Yeah.
I mean, New York's not a bad place.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between Canton, Ohio, and New York, it's an easy decision. But we got one last topic, and I know, Bang, you got to roll. This has been, I say, the week of a Angel Reese, and she has been really well defended. I mean, she's been a good teammate from the jump. From the minute she's gotten to Chicago, bringing her teammates on stage at the Megan Thee Stallion concert, and she's really been out there on the front lines, backing up Kennedy Carter, and just being around behind her back. She says basically, she said this on Monday during the middle of our show, like, I ain't got no problem, being the villain. I just want y'all to know that, yeah, Caitlin's good, but she ain't the only reason that people watching. So my question to y'all is, do you think that one Angel Reese can pull off the villain role? Because you got to be able to pull it off. I think it's one thing that Kennedy Carter, she didn't address the media, and then Draymond said, speaking from a villain myself, you're going to be a villain, you got to address the media. You know what I'm saying? And say what you got to say. But Angel has done a great job of addressing the media. Do y'all think that she can and that she will pull off this villain role? I'll go to Dante.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dante.
She absolutely can. I think she definitely can. I think a lot of times, a lot of the criticisms about her game, people don't realize, they really pretty much finished the tournament, graduated, and came straight to the league. Like, like when they got their degrees, they took pictures in their Chicago Sky shit. So it's like, just give time on that aspect. But in terms of being a villain, she can, because she has the personality for it. She doesn't back down. And most importantly, her game backs it up. Like, it's one of those situations where it's not like she's just talking and then going out there and stinking it up. Like, say what you want about the shooting percentages, but what she's providing on the glass and just for that team from a, like you said, a leadership standpoint as a rookie, I think that's something that lets us know that she can do both. She can be the villain and still be the one that shows up and performs for her team. Because, I mean, she's done it so far.
I don't think that she needs to play the villain role. I think it's the team. It feels like to me that the Chicago Sky is turned into not style of play. Let me just say this now, not style of play, but they've turned into the bad girls. They turned into the bad girl Pistons. They turned into that team that, because of Angel Reese and now Kennedy Carter, they're the team that you're going to love to hate. So I don't think she has to do it. I think it's the team. And I think that Teresa Witherspoon, the head coach, she's somebody that's not going to give a shit what you think about the team as long as we're winning. So yeah, it don't need to be Angel Reese. It's the team that's going to be the villain. And I think they're going to embrace that role.
Yeah, I think that the team will too, but I think just also as the kind of player she is, rebound, she do the dirty work, plays defense. I think that's perfect for her to be the villain. I think at this point she's gonna be portrayed as the villain anyway, because you got the Caitlin Clark, she's the great white hope, she can do no wrong. Wear that shoe, and then her team already adopts that attitude that she has, and this is the perfect city for her, Chicago. We're gonna back up on that, and I think this would be perfect for her. But I think she has to be true to it. If it's not deep down inside her, then she shouldn't try to do it because then it'll come off corny, it'll come out fake, and we all know that she ain't really with it. But I 100% think she can pull it off. She's been doing it at LSU. She's been a villain every time they face Caitlin Clark, whether it's in college or whether in the pros. I mean, just that one game last Sunday started a full week of discussion. So if I was her, I think I would embrace that, double down, and do what I got to do. I think she's the perfect person for it. And just the Scott team in general. I mean, we've seen Camila Cardozo since she's been back. She's been pretty solid. I think they're a piece or two away from being a really, really good team. And then for her to just get better and better. I mean, she had an incredible game last night with that double double, led them to a win. I think it was against Dallas that they played last night.
I think it was Dallas.
I think it was Dallas. No, it was Washington. It was
no, it was Washington. It was a homecoming. It was a
homecoming. My bad. Shouts out to Quicksilver. He was mic'd up.
Kim Mulkey was there. Here's my question: do y'all think Kim Mulkey's racist? Or she just an old white Southern woman?
No, she's just old school.
She's an old school, old Southern woman.
That's what I think. That's why I don't think she's racist. I think she's just one of them old school white women who have problematic views.
Yep.
That's why I give them up. But Angel got the box score. Angel had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 steals, 3 assists. That was an incredible game for her last night. 79-71 over the Mystics are 0-10.
Paige Becker's loading.
No, this is fucked up part though. They don't own a pick.
No. I'm talking about the Wizards, not for us.
Oh, you talking about the Wizards? I was like, yeah.
No, next year we got to be doo-doo for Juju. That's all we can
do. Doo-doo for Juju. I like that.
That's all we can do.
Doo-doo
that's all we
got to do. Hey, man, you want to see a city on fire? Juju Watkins, Camila Cardozo, Andrew Reese. Nigga, where my tickets at now?
They're not going to be bad enough for that. But
they're not going to be bad enough for that. But, man, that would be incredible. That would be Juju in the city. Oh, man, because she a hooper, dog. She a hooper. I found out about her just through about niggas talking about her in LA, even before like ESPN got big on her. But I think the Sky in the great spot. I think that they're getting the shine. And Angel, I don't think there's more. But I can't think of a city that has been a more perfect team for her, just far as how cities embraced already. I mean, New York would have embraced her, but not like the way that this city embraced her.
The only thing that would have been better for her was going home to the Mystics. Like that would have been about it. Like it's probably the only place that would have terrible where she would have saw that love. But yeah, they stink. But
is there anything worse than Washington sports right now?
Damn, that's a good question.
Nah, that's just terrible.
There's not one good team. Commanders.
The Capitals stink. I mean, I know we don't care about soccer, but not soccer.
They didn't make the playoffs.
Hockey, okay.
Hey, shouts out to the DC United just because I know people who work there.
Yo Gotti on that bitch. Ain't he one of the owners?
He a part owner, yeah.
Yo Gotti, nigga.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Man, we know you got to get up out of here, man. Let them know you got anything new? Some dude coming? Anything dropping soon?
Some dude we gonna drop. We gonna take a hiatus because I got to go to Atlanta next week. Okay. So we're gonna take a hiatus. We should have a new episode of First Black Champ coming this week though. But yeah, some dude, we will be back next week to talk about all things what happened in Atlanta that I can talk about. And more.
We immediately have a summer sessions on that because I want to hear about that Illuminati meeting. I want to hear we're gonna recap Kendrick Lamar to pop out. And also I definitely want to have a conversation about that Larry Jackson interview I watched with Joe Budden last night.
Oh yeah, because I'll see if it matches next week.
I hate when niggas
very insightful.
It kind of was insightful. I hate when niggas answer a question with a question and they just really plug in their products for the whole time. That's kind of slow.
I mean, it's the reason he's a top exec. He
100%.
He was talking that shit, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
I 100% understand how he got where he at. It was not I was like, dang, I get it. And look, man, for a black man, he did his thing. I didn't even know who the nigga was till Bane told me this nigga raised what $1 billion for Gamma. So, but yeah, we want to talk about that as well. One last question for y'all. Do you think that Kendrick is going to go? I'm just gonna play my hits and I'll do Not Like Us at the end, or is he gonna go full Jay-Z or Summer Jam, Tupac, House of Blues?
I think he gonna keep it cordial. This is for the West. We're gonna have a good time. This is for the West, and then he gonna drop the album afterwards.
I think it's gonna be the exact opposite. I think this is his victory lap. Like I think he's about to literally he's gonna perform all of the hits and shit, but then he's gonna give us the Diss Records EP. Like he's gonna go down the Diss Records and end it with Like Us, and like that they might blow the roof off the forum, my nigga. Like
I'm with you, Dante. First I was with Bang. Now he gonna keep it forward. This is why I don't think he will. And I'm gonna keep it short because I know Bang, you gotta get out of here. One is called the pop out.
Yeah.
You gotta pop out and show niggas. Then I saw one of the niggas who on Pimp Butterfly cover. He got all the Bloods on the cover. He said Juneteenth, we going up the pop out. You got that. Then I watched I accidentally clicked. You accidentally click on somebody live on Instagram? Mm-hmm. I accidentally clicked on DJ Heads Live, but it was him, Fuzzy. Anybody know Fuzzy out west, on the West Coast? Fuzzy and like two other DJs, whatever. And they were talking about the pop out, and they were talking about, you think you're gonna play the disses? And Head just had that look like, we'll see. I think this is gonna be his House of Blues moment. I 100% believe. I think he's gonna come out to Euphoria. I think he's gonna start the show. The intro at the beginning. I think he's gonna come out to Euphoria. I think you're gonna get Not Like Us is gonna close. I think he's gonna bring out all the coats because Mustard got an album dropping. He gonna bring out Snoop. I heard a rumor about Dre. He gonna bring out all the TDEs. SZA gonna be out there. YG gonna be out there. Mustard's gonna be the DJ for Not Like Us. He's gonna bring Future. Pluto gonna come out there. They doing Like That live. Pluto and Metro gonna come out. That's my prediction. And my other prediction too. He's gonna bring out. I believe he bringing Rihanna out. I believe they doing Loyalty. Dante, you on mute.
Just to be petty.
Just to be petty. I think he bringing Rihanna out. And I wouldn't. This is the reason my wild card is this, because she brought him out at SoFi. Would not shock me if he bring Beyonce out and they do like America Has a Problem or whatever joints they got.
I think niggas.
I think Kendrick is gonna throw the kitchen sink. He's gonna be like, look, I'm the top dog. And people was like, why he didn't do it at SoFi? Why he didn't do it at Crypto? He did this for a reason, because it's on Juneteenth. It's cultural. It's the Forum. When you think of Inglewood, you think of the Forum. You know what I'm saying? That place is small. They got the bathrooms in the basement at the Forum. And also they canceled the Juneteenth celebration in Lamar Park this year because niggas caused a riot last year. But I think I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be a victory lap. And like you said, I think the 616 in LA is going to go on streaming, and you're going to get that album title release date by the end. Pre-order going to drop the same night. That's my prediction. I ain't heard nothing from nobody, and none of the homies told me this. This is just my prediction. And the fact that Amazon is streaming, I kind of figured it would, because Free Lunch, who runs it, one of the guys runs it, Sean. His name is escaping me. I don't want to mess his brother's name up. But he used to work for Amazon Music, and he started the Free Lunch agency. It's Tim. My bad. Yeah, it's Tim Bradshaw, something like that. No, Tim Henshaw. My bad. Tim Henshaw. He's the CEO of Free Lunch Agency. Used to be Amazon Music, so they're gonna be streaming it. So I think that's gonna be good. So we definitely gonna recap that on some sessions, whenever that is. So, all right, Bang, we'll holler at you, bro. Have a good weekend.
Peace.
All right, man. We're gonna go over a couple more topics, man, before we wrap this up. One last local hour topic. And Dante, I wanted to get your opinion on this. With the White Sox, sound like the White Sox are officially putting Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert on the trading block. As somebody who is not a practicing White Sox fan anymore, I think this is dumb, just because I don't understand the point of getting rid of all of your good players, especially players on contracts like these two have. I don't personally get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where at this point, I think they're going to just strip it all the way down, like down to the screws, just like they did last time. It's unfortunate. It makes no sense because, like, as a fan now, you're asking yourself, are we going to do this every time we have prospects who don't pan out? Suddenly, we're going to just tear it down. So it's frustrating when you know the team doesn't really develop players well. So it's a matter of, we're going to go get a whole bunch of prospects. We just saw us try this. It didn't work. So, the Luis Robert thing will hurt off the strength. And this is a guy that we've all been watching since he was about 19 years old when he first signed him. And, like, this is one of the guys that was marketed as the centerpiece of a championship run. And, that hasn't happened. And I know you don't expect all prospects to hit, but he was a guy who, finally was able to stay healthy and had a really great season last year. Garrett Crochet, he's had a breakout year, been probably one of the best stories in baseball, and you about to just give him away. Like, it's like I said, as a fan, it's trash because you keep, waiting for tomorrow.
You got to be
but
upset.
That's the Jerry Reinsdorf special.
But this is why I would be upset if I was still a practicing White Sox fan. If you're going to be bad, especially in baseball, you still want something to watch if you still watch the games and go to the games. Like, oh, well, at least I'll go there for a Garrett Crochet start. At least I know Luis Roberts going to do something crazy today that I can watch. At this point, you give these niggas nothing to watch. And then you're going to give a rebuild to a nigga who couldn't even develop the dudes in the original rebuild. And it gave me PTSD when I saw they played this Red Sox last night, and you had Liam Hendricks back in the building. You had Lucas Giolito back in the building. Lucas Giolito's media availability made me just feel like, yo, that was the worst rebuild maybe in sports. And the way he was talking, like, yo, we just blew a golden opportunity. He said, it sucks. And as a fans, we all thought, whether they won a championship or not, those are toss-ups. We thought this be deep playoff runs, ALCS appearances. We got 2 playoff wins out of that, and really only one because the other one was COVID year. And that's just it's a massive fumble. And so now you sell that to this fan base. You're gonna try again. It's probably what rebuild 5 since 2001.
It's bad.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad, bro. So I mean, I don't have any expectations at this point. I'm done. I'm really tired of scouring other teams' prospect lists to see who we could possibly get because they're gonna find a way to fuck it up. This is kind of what we do at this point. So that's why I'm holding my breath. I'm optimistic with the pitching that we've been drafting and the guys. But again, if they're gonna just come up, play for a shit team and then get traded, I don't understand why we're doing this. Like, if it wasn't for John Fisher, Jerry Reinsdorf would be like officially like the shit stain of Major League Baseball. Like,
right.
He's that bad. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure the Dodgers are gonna come calling for Luis Robert. Their outfield hasn't been on shit. The Mariners are gonna be interested. Atlanta now with Ronald Acuna out for the year.
I can see him in Atlanta.
Yeah, so it's gonna be teams out there with some good farm systems. I know Atlanta has a lot of pitching in their farm system, so it's gonna be some calls made. We're gonna see.
We definitely gonna see, man. Couple more topics before we get up out of here for the weekend. Big news came across the ESPN desk a couple days ago, man. It sounded like all hands were all ships would go to get JJ Reddick to be the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And then not even 2 days ago, it was yesterday, we hear that Woj says that it's going to be Dan Hurley is being heavily pursued by the Los Angeles Lakers. For those of you who don't watch college hoops, don't really know, Dan Hurley is the head coach of the 2-time defending national champion UConn Huskies. He just got like a 6-year, $33-some million deal with UConn. But Gino Auriemma, legendary Gino Auriemma, said he had a conversation with Dan when he was on Dan Patrick's show. He said, "Yeah, I didn't know this was down, coming down, but he based on, you can win a lot of championships with the Lakers." And contrary to what LeBron says, well, I have nothing to do. You know how they put that press release out yesterday? LeBron James has nothing to do with this process. Yeah, if you want me to believe that LeBron James has no say-so on this, yeah, okay, nigga. I got a skyscraper in the middle of Wyoming to sell you if you believe that. Especially with them old tweets that got servers in praising Dan Hurley's coaching ability. One, my take on this is, if it happens, and it sounds like it probably will, I think the only thing he doesn't know if he wants to take it yet, but it sounds like they're going to offer him a crazy contract. I like this a lot more than JJ Reddick. I didn't understand the JJ Reddick hiring for the Lakers or JJ Reddick. If I'm JJ Reddick and I've got a budding media empire growing, you got a good gig on ABC. You're calling the finals right now. Big shout out to Doris Burke, first woman, to call the NBA Finals game. Why would you want to leave that to coach the Lakers where you're gonna fail and get fired in a year or two? That just didn't make any sense to me. If you're the Lakers, if you're trying to get one more championship out of this LeBron run, get you somebody with at least some coaching experience. Now we know coaches going from college to the leagues is very much a toss-up. But I'm willing to take that. He's a developmental coach. I think he can develop some of those younger players. Get the most out of Rui Hachimura. Get the most out of Austin Reeves coming off a down year. And if you're really going to draft Bronny, what better way than to get you a college-type coach to help him do that when his daddy's there or not? I personally love it for the Lakers. I do think it will happen. What's your opinion on it? And do you think it'll actually go down?
At first I thought it was just a leverage play by Hurley to get more money from UConn, but I think it will happen. I think winning back-to-back national championships and with the landscape of college athletics changing, period. Then you're gonna see a lot of coaches who have the opportunity to go pro. They're gonna just go pro because, like, at least I can deal with these professionals as opposed to dealing with a bunch of kids and expecting them to act like professionals because that's how they're being treated now. So I think it's legit. It has legs. With the young players you have on that team, you want to get the most out of them because the LeBron era is coming to a close. I think once things start to get finalized, I don't know how many years Bron's gonna play. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it would not shock me at this point if after everything got finalized, he came out and said, "Yo, this is my victory lap, my
Let's
final
be very
year."
clear. When we know,
Yeah,
we will know. If you think that nigga's
yeah, you're
not
gonna know.
getting,
No,
if you think that nigga's not getting a victory tour,
yeah, no. That's why I say I think, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, even if he went to the Lakers and signed a 1-year deal, like if they drafted Bronny and he just signed a 1-year deal to play with his son for 1 year during his victory lap and got up out of there. So I like it. I like it for the Lakers because you have to set the tone for the life after LeBron, and I think one way to do that is having a steady hand at head coach.
yeah, I think it'll be good. Man, I think that'll be probably finalized by the end of the weekend. Wouldn't shock me. That's it. This next one we don't need to spend too much time on, but I thought it was very interesting. We know all about the proxy battle going on between the over the fight over the Minnesota Timberwolves between Alex Rodriguez, his partner Mark Lurie, and Glenn Taylor, who is hated everywhere, one of the richest men on this earth. Is basically, for those of you who don't know, there was a succession plan 3 years ago, that Glenn Taylor was going to sell off the team to Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lurie. Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lurie paid him $600 million, and eventually they lost funding for the next $300 million. But then they got a new partner. So then Glenn Taylor decided, oh, I don't want to sell the team anymore. They're going to arbitration next month, decide who's going to get part of the team. But entering the chat, former New York City Mayor Mayor Bloomberg, the 12th richest man on this planet, will be joining A-Rod and Mark Lurie's ownership team. But here's a caveat: he's like, I'm only putting in 150 million. He's only putting half of the 300 million. Other 300 million we put on by Mark Lurie and Alex Rodriguez partners. But it sounds like A-Rod's coming with the big guns. He like, nigga, I'm getting this team and also the Lynx. They own both 40% of the Lynx and the Timberwolves. Like, I'm leaving here with something. I think it's gonna be a big part to see if they're gonna get the team. What do you think about this last minute move for A-Rod? I personally think it's a good chess move.
No, it's a smart move. You get it because right now he's saying I'm going to give it 150, but the man has unlimited pockets. So, like, if you nudge him and say, "Hey, bro, come on, let's just snatch this from him,"
yeah,
and we'll work something out. I'll buy a portion back from you, however they want to do it. But yeah, no, this is A-Rod said, "Hey, bro, stop fucking playing with me. Give me my team."
right.
I respect it.
Right, exactly. Like, stop playing with me, G. This is big bang take little bang. But final topic, then we gonna get up out of here for the weekend, man. Details of the NBA's big media deal, which will probably be announced after the conclusion of the NBA Finals. Commissioner Adam Silver briefly kind of ran over it yesterday in his pre-finals press conference, saying that talks have been interesting. He feels bad for the Turner workers who are trying to figure out what their job situation is going to be like. But I believe this is going to be announced in a couple weeks. But here are some notes that I have for you. One, this is all coming. This is coming from the Wall Street Journal, and also this is coming from Front Office Sports. The NBA is closing in on deals with NBC, ESPN, Disney/ESPN, and Amazon that will bring in about $76 billion in media revenue over the next 11 years. Now, mind you, this deal will begin in the 2025-2026 season. So there is inside the NBA and games on TNT next season, regardless. So this will be after next season. This is how it breaks down between the media partners. NBC will be paying $2.5 billion a year, and they will get 100 games per season, with half of them airing exclusively on Peacock. For those of you niggas who got them out that Peacock playoff game, well, if you want 100, you want 50 games, you're gonna have to get on Peacock. Games would air on Tuesday and Sundays, only on Sundays when the NFL season's over, and they will be having a show called Basketball Night in America. Amazon will be paying $1.5 billion a year for a package that would include regular season games, playoff games, and they will be home to the in-season tournament and the play-in tournament, and they will get a share of the conference finals They would split it with the other media partners. So basically, it'll kind of be like probably 1 year. Amazon will have the Eastern Conference and West Conference Finals. ESPN will have the other one, or TNT. I mean, not TNT, or NBC will have the other one. So basically, you're gonna be getting conference finals games on Amazon, and then Disney, ESPN will be retaining the same package they've been having. Basically, they'll continue to have their regular season games, and they'll continue to air the NBA Finals each year, with their payments being in about 2.6 billion a year. Now, for those of us, really all of us, who up, and this is not the end for inside the NBA. This is a very interesting nugget that came from Front Office Sports yesterday. Currently, Warner Brothers Discovery, the company that owns TNT, is in negotiations with the NBA to secure a possible fourth media rights package that could include regular season games, some playoff games. The NBA could slice off a portion of locally televised games and boost those up to national games. And this will also mean that this package will stay inside the NBA. They did say this deal is unlikely, but it is not over till it's over. What do you think about these details with this deal?
I think Adam Silver is just fucking with Buddy from Warner Brothers. Like he gonna give him a chance just because contractually they have the match rights. But I think it's over. I think it's a done deal. Adam Silver's ready to move on, and he also knows that he's moving on to partners who have deeper pockets. Like I think people forget, like Amazon with Bezos and Apple, who they got into. I think eventually they will try to double back and get into the NBA. They have all of
unlimited bread.
Unlimited. They have more money than some countries, like literally, like no exaggeration. So it's one of those things where that's what you got to go do. And I think Adam Silver is just letting it all play out, allowing them to work the contract. It's in there, so we got to talk to you. But I think when it's all said and done, it's time for Adam's going to continue to try to innovate and move forward with basketball because he'll never catch the NFL, but he can still be innovative and try to find new ways to connect with his market, with his audience, and build from there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the negotiation thing right now is just being done because we've been partners for 40 years. I would be actually stunned, and honestly, if I was anybody involved with TNT, like being the fourth package when we used to be like the number two is like crazy. But I think it's just they negotiating. But I think this is a done deal. I think a day or two after the NBA Finals is over, that we will get that announcement on those three things. And I know there's gonna be a lot of people upset when this news drops because a lot of people are anti-streaming, and I'm personally on the side of I don't have a problem with sports streaming. I think the long as you have the production quality up to par. I'm about to watch this Yankees Dodgers game on Apple TV Plus. Their production has been amazing. And I said last year, there's gonna be some company that's going to stream the in-season tournament. And now here Amazon's gonna be doing that, gonna be the same thing to play in. So I get people's anger with it, but this is just a new era, and this is the future of streaming. And this is where all these streaming services are going to make their money because they're not making their money on other things, and live sports is a cash cow. So I think this will be announced, and I think it'll be a good thing for the NBA, though. I think taking away the nostalgia factor of wanting inside the NBA still, I think NBC is going to do a good job with their promotion. So I think it's a done deal. But looking at these type of deals made me think there's just so much money in the world. And all these studios be crime broke, man. But that's all we got for y'all today on another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. We will be back on Monday. We will have the homie Waz, Big Waz from the Ringer, will be joining us. My dog, always looking forward to talking to him about some hoops. Definitely gonna troll him about his boy Drake because he wears his OVO flag very, very tightly. So I'm looking forward to messing with him about that. We're gonna recap game 2, preview game 3. We're gonna have a lot of other things to talk about. So yeah, man. Me and Dante have the newest episodes of Return to Queens Boulevard up right now. Check that out. And we're gonna have more for y'all next week, man. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Barberchat Scott. You can follow Dante at October Zonte. Don't follow him on Instagram, nigga. He said that's enough. Follow the Barberchat Network at Barberchat Net on all social media platforms. Follow HMB Media at HMB Media TV on Twitter and at HMB Media on Instagram. Get in tune with our sponsors, Pillars. You can see the hat right now, see the logo. Go to pillarsclub.co or go to pillars_club on Instagram or visit any of their 3 in-store Chicago locations. There's one on the West Loop over there in Madison, one over there in Orland Park Mall, and one in the Chicago Ridge Mall, man. So get in tune with all that. Subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/Barberchat Network. Yeah, man, y'all have a good weekend, and we'll holler at y'all on Monday. We about here.